what we do here is go back.
You never know, it might work, it may not. Let's have a look. What's going on? Is it working? Yeah, that looks like it's working. Good evening everyone, Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. It is Saturday the 30th of September 2023. Where is this year going? It's worrying, it's very scary. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Time is just speeding up, it really does seem to be. Hopefully you can all see me and hear me. If you can, let us know in the chat. That would be fantastic. Kath can hear me and see me, but she's in the same freaking room. That doesn't count. Where's William Bodie? William Bodie, I think, is on his road trip, on his holiday road trip.
He may be back, he says, but yeah. I told him not to rush.
David Arnold says, what the F is that fluff on your face? I know, it's all right, I'm taking care of it. I've got the shaver here. I am going to do it actually live on the stream because I'm just a pig and an animal, and also it saves time because I might as well do it while I'm getting paid for it, so to speak. Dropping frames. Oh no. Drop frames. Don't say it's dropping any there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it does seem to be. I'll kill the stream a second and I'll come back in. So, yeah, slight bit of lag. Let's rectify that. Start streaming. That might be working now. I don't know. We'll see. Lag. Is that any better? That seems to be better. I'm not sure. I think it's the camera itself. Video smoothness looks like it's 15 FPS. Looks... Is it better? Let me know. I've been having some issues today.
Bless you.
Bless me. Is it working? Rick H says, yup. 360p. Dance a bit, Mike. I'm not very good at dancing. Sounds good, video is a bit jumpy. Looks smoother. Okay. Aletta says, I'm not too sure how long I get to watch. My internet has been going off every 10-15 minutes all day long. Oh dear. Is that working now? Ish. Not too sure. It looks okay there. Well, actually it does look a bit slow. I think I might know why. Settings, video. Oh God. Right, cancel streaming. We'll try again. You never know, this might work now. We're now streaming at 30 FPS. But I've just realised I've got a new camera, which I'm not actually using at the moment. I'm still using the old one, which is there. The new one's there. So you can't tell that, but I can. And yeah, the cameras are currently set to PAL, 25 frames per second. Because the frequency thing here in the UK. So Nick says, do a handstand to check. If I did a handstand, I would end up in hospital. I actually would, genuinely. Working fine. Okay, we'll go with that. So that is the normal camera, which you're used to seeing. So if I go to the other camera, which I've tried to match as best I can at the moment. So I'm going to quickly go over to that camera, and there we go. Is that any better? Yes, I can see that has changed on the screen now. So that is the new camera, but I think I've messed up the colours.
I knew you'd do that.
I certainly have. I'm sure I have, yeah, because the reds are super, super over exaggerated, which is, ooh, we can see more of the table. It is a new look. Well, it is, I'll show you how much of a new look it is. It's actually insane how much of a new look it is. So this is currently with the camera set at the same settings as the other one. I've now got a little bit more of a wide angle, so we can go as far as that. So that is the widest the shot can be. Whereas on the other one, it is considerably tighter. So I actually have to go and zoom right in to about there to get the same sort of shot. Which kind of, I think, looks very similar. So between the two, yeah, that one still needs to come in more, doesn't it?
Can't nearly see me ugly Bob. I'm on the other side of the room behind the camera.
Yeah, let's see if that's any closer. So that, oh, that's, I've messed it right up now. Gonna be sick. So not only have I adjusted the angle, I've also adjusted the other thing. Oh dear, I've broken it. So which one am I on now? I have no idea. New camera looks superior, richer in colour. It is. That's because I haven't messed with it. The other one, to be fair, I have messed with, so I have deliberately toned the colours down. Oh dear. Camera 1, camera 2. Yes, it is very much like that. So,
I know which one it is if I twist the knob.
yes, I will.
Do you want me to?
That's right. I think that's okay, isn't it? Which one? Oh, which one am I on now?
I would say that was the old one.
Main. No, that's the new one. I think. Third source. No, that's the new one.
Yeah, I was going to say because you look bigger on the old one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually disconnect the old camera a minute, and we'll go on to the new one, which is, yeah, this one. Bear with me. Turn that off. Unplug all of that nonsense, and I can put that away. Never to see the light of day again, possibly. And let's get that straightened up now. So I'm going to move that in a bit, move it around a little bit, and I think that is pretty much level.
Wiggle it.
Let's see.
Have you ever had the camera launch the memory card across the room?
No, but I can do that. I don't know why I would want to though. Yes, the camera, you can actually use the camera cards as projectiles. Oh. Oh no, that one won't work. No, it doesn't want to projectile itself. This is a shame. So there's the old camera. Goodbye, old camera. I'm actually tempted to still keep on using the lens on that.
On the edge of the table,
I'm about to get the camera bag out and put it away. So anyway, hopefully you're all having a good week. This week for me and Kath, it's been a little bit of a traumatic week. We've got some things going on in the background which are just, you know, those things that happen.
even Poppy's.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. So if we haven't been our usual selves and not as active on the Discord and in the chat and stuff like that, there is a reason for it. We're not just ignoring you. It's just there's stuff going on which we just got to deal with, and it is what it is. So
William Bodie's back.
such is life. Hello, William Bodie.
What is it, Poppy? You want to go out?
The 9,000 RPMs. Happy days, nice one. Right, bring back the banner. I'm missing it. Oh yeah, I forgot about the banner. Third source. Right, hang on. Let's go. Hang on a minute. Let's go with that and HDMI 3. There we go. So that is on the main one. So I can disable the third source now. Disable 3, and that can be DisplayPort 4 for argument's sake. So that'll be dead. There we go. We're good. The reds are really over the top, and the blues don't seem quite right. That's a darker blue. Oh well, I'll figure it out in good time, no doubt. So yes, hopefully you're all having a good weekend. All that usual stuff. I really got to shave this crap off. It's really itching like crazy now. It's a very pathetic thing actually. I had a big boil come up on my lip, and I thought if I shave every day, it's just going to antagonise it and aggravate it. So I'll
show it.
Yeah, and show it obviously. So I'll grow the beard and try and cover it a little bit. And I hate it now. I used to have a goatee all the time, but when I used to have a goatee all the time, it was considerably darker in colour, i.e. not grey. So anyway, that is the story behind the facial nonsense. Let's get rid of that.
You had Susan Boyle on your face.
I had a Susan Boyle on my face. She was all over me. Welly Bob says, Banner needs to scroll for us with OLED displays. It did actually used to do that. It used to go like a ticker tape across the screen, but I've forgotten how to do it. I will have to do that again. Anyway, so...
How was William's trip?
Yeah, how was William's trip, most importantly? That is the most important thing. Richard says, does Kath mind the facial hair? I don't know, really.
No, I don't like it.
She doesn't really like it, I don't think. Jason Wood says, I'm back. Did anyone miss me? Yes, you were desperately missed. Where's my adjuster gone? I hate this bloody seat. Positive mental attitude. I love this seat. I can't wait till it breaks and I can get another one. Although I've got another two in the other room. Well, actually I've got 3 other gaming chairs, but they won't physically fit behind the desk. So, that sucks. Anyway, so there is a poll, if you haven't seen it already. Obviously the stream, the title, etc. We are going to be making some modifications to the Jonsbo D41 PC, which we built in a couple of streams ago. And essentially since then I've left it completely kind of as it was basically from the stream. I think I might have installed Windows. That is probably it. I have been waiting, some of you know this already, from NZXT to come forward with a BIOS update which allows the 13500 processor to work properly and for the HDMI output to work as it should do. Seems they've kind of drawn a blank and it's got to the point where NZXT, to be fair, NZXT, given their dues, they've been great and they have been keeping in constant contact really every couple of days. Sending new BIOSes, suggesting things to try. And it's got to the point now where they're baffled by it as well. And they've actually asked if I could send the motherboard and the processor to NZXT's technical support center so they can check out and see what the heck is going on. Which I kind of wanted to do just to get an idea of if I'm just being stupid or something, or if it is a thing. Maybe it's the processor. I don't think it is because it has worked on a B760 motherboard before and it worked fine. But the Z690 or any 600 series, it just really struggles to do that particular feature, which is annoying because if you bought a processor with built-in graphics, you kind of want to use it or be able to use it. And it's difficult to sell a PC when there is some sort of inherent problem with it. So that is the reason behind what we're doing in tonight's stream. Also to test out the camera to make sure that's working well. And
your mouth's not going with your voice.
Oh, for God's sake. Is there audio lag? Quite possibly. That might be back down to me again changing the timing on there. Bear with me, I will continue that course of whatever.
Carry on talking now because your back's turned, they can't see your mouth.
Yeah, la 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 la. We'll try that again. Is that going to work now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely no lag on audio. I'll put it back onto 25 frames per second. That's what it should be to match up with what is coming in. I knew this was going to be Gremlins. Perfect. Okay. We'll go with that. We'll leave it with that for now. So, anyway. Longish story short. They offered to actually cover the cost as well to send it over. But I'm not overly keen on sending the motherboard and processor away. I don't know how long they're going to need it for. And it's not like I've got a stack of motherboards and processors here which I can kind of dip in and dip out of to do other projects or to basically try and finance the camera I just bought. So I'm gonna politely decline their offer. As good as it is, I don't think there's going to be many people suffering from it. I think it's probably me and maybe 1 or 2 others which are having the same problem. So I figured the easiest thing to do head over to CEX. Did have some vouchers saved up, so that was handy. Went over to CEX and bought a new processor. So we've got the Intel i5. Actually, let's see if the autofocus works. I can't see if it is. In theory, if it's in front of my face, it should. Can you see it, Kath? Is it focused on that processor? Looks like it might have done, actually.
No, I don't think.
No? I give up.
Don't know how much lag I've got on my computer.
I give up. Still a bit far away. Okay. Let's. I'll try it up close. That's bound to work. Even though I'm shaking and almost falling over here. Anyway, yeah, you get the general idea. So I've got this from CEX. This, the 12400 you can get on CEX for £130. Or if you go with the F version, without the integrated graphics, you can get it for £120, which I thought was actually pretty decent. In terms of a 6-core, 12-thread processor, which I think turbo's up to like 4.4 gigahertz, for £120, £130 is actually pretty decent value for money. You could go with the AMD Ryzen 5 5600, similar sort of money. And I was thinking, well, yeah, I need to do something with this system. So Intel processor, I'm going to put it into the board and hopefully it's still going to be okay. You still get a 2-year warranty with the processor as well. So if I do sell the PC, which is what I'm likely going to have to do, then at least I can say, look, the processor does have a warranty. If there's any problems, come back to me and we'll figure that out. But I don't think there'll be a problem. And hopefully there won't be, because we're going to try it out tonight. So I have to reinstall it. Don't squish any pins. There's no pins on these, luckily. So don't have to worry too much. Actually come through very well packaged.
There's no pins on it.
Yeah, I should say, to CEX, this came through in, I don't think I've still got the package in here, but it was in the clamshell pack. It was also then encased in a load of shredded paper and that stuff they pack it out with, in a hard cardboard box as well. So fair play to them. It arrived as it should do. So
But if it had pins, how would it arrive then?
if it had pins, they'd have probably just put it into a jiffy bag and threw it through the letterbox attached to a brick. Anyway, so cheers, Jason. Thanks for dropping in. And yeah, that is what is going on. Also, hence the poll, which I was just getting to. So just actually, let's have a look at the poll. You can see this at the moment. If you look in your chat section, you should see there's a poll. And the question is, if you're buying a 500 to 700 PC, some foreshadowing going on there, which would you prefer? And the choices are the AMD RX 6600 8GB, the Intel Arc A770 8GB, the NVIDIA RTX 3060, which I guess you could argue could be a 12GB, but then I think that's the next price point above. At the moment, you can pick up an RTX 3060 12GB here in the UK for about 270. The RX 6600 normally under 200, and the Intel Arc A770, again, the 8GB version, normally under 200. If you go for the 16GB version, around about 230 to 250. So they're all in a very similar price point. Performance-wise, they all have their kind of swings and roundabouts on which one's going to be better for individual tasks. But being that as I am likely to be listing this PC for sale, I was interested to see what you, as a general kind of range of the public, viewers in general, what your thoughts were. And currently, as it stands at the moment, which is not entirely surprising, is the AMD Radeon RX 6600 8GB is tying at the top position at the moment with 33% with the NVIDIA RTX 3060, which I fully expected, to be honest with you. The Intel Arc A770, as much as I wanted this PC to be an all Intel affair, I think realistically in terms of resale value, I think it's going to shift much quicker with a Radeon or a NVIDIA card in it. There may be the odd person out there which is a little bit intrigued about the whole Intel Arc thing and maybe would buy it just to kind of, they've got a bit of spare cash and it's something they wanted to do. It's at a good price, nice PC, etc. So they'll go for it. But I think in general, in terms of the actual listing, I think it's going to generate more interest with an AMD or NVIDIA card, which is really unfortunate. And I think actually it would probably sell quicker with a 3060 in it. I think that is, NVIDIA obviously are the market leaders. and we all want Intel and AMD to kind of up their game to be competitive with NVIDIA. But I think secretly most of us want NVIDIA and AMD to do that in order for NVIDIA to have to reduce their pricing. So then we can buy the NVIDIA cards we actually want, but for less money. Let me know what you think in the comments, actually. I think that is a relatively common thing. For me, definitely, that is true. If there was an NVIDIA graphics card which was cheaper or competitive with the other cards in terms of price, but had better feature set, I think if you look at it on a kind of purely investment side of things, the NVIDIA cards are arguably going to be a better way to go. If they're at the same price point, obviously. So, yeah, let me know what you think on that one. I think that is, I think that's a pretty fair comment. Truck fan says, question, would you rather squish a pin on a 5600 or squish a pin on an ASRock Z790 Pro RS? If I squished a pin on any motherboard these days, I think I would be very upset. Motherboards have become incredibly expensive. Incredibly expensive. And yes, I think that would be a bad thing. Processors are relatively easy to replace and actually quite inexpensive. It's got to the point now where most motherboards are dearer than the processors that you're going to put on them, which is madness if you think about it. But that's how it used to be. Back in the days of the old 386, 486s, etc., your motherboard would be probably the most expensive part. The chips would be something which you'd literally socket yourself. The RAM chips you could buy yourself and all that kind of stuff. The motherboard would generally be one of the more costly items to purchase. And sadly, we seem to have gone back to that route, which is weird because back in the day, motherboards had very, very little on them. In fact, you'd have to install like an ISA card with a floppy drive controller, an IDE controller, or an NBM controller if you were using really HBM. Was it HBM or NBM? Can't remember. The really old hard drives, you'd have to put a controller card in. Your serial port, you'd have to install that. Basically, you'd have about 6 or 7 expansion cards to make your PC physically work. I think if you're lucky, you might have a keyboard port on the old AT motherboards. Anyway, moving on from that. So, oh, actually, something else I should mention.
You asked them to write in here, and then you.
I know. Just very quickly, if you could, please keep an eye out for the sign here, the one that says Mike's Unboxing, like and subscribe, which obviously you should have done already. If you haven't, or please do it now. But the problem we were having before with Lumix cameras, which is a very common thing with Lumix cameras, the autofocus that Lumix used to use, or Panasonic used to use, was called DFD, or depth from defocus. So the way that their autofocus worked was it would focus on a point and then it would continually try and focus behind and then in front until it settled on a place. So it was like ding, ding, ding all the time. Thanks, the sound effects are free. But that was what was always happening. So now Panasonic have gone on and used what basically Canon and Sony and all the others have done for a long time, which is using phase detect. So we've got phase detect autofocus. So in theory, there shouldn't be any of that weird pulsing going on. So please do keep an eye out for it. If you spot it, let me know. Mookie MC says, no pulsing thus far that I have seen. Excellent stuff. So yeah, I should be able to move around and it should, in theory, it should track me really well. Whether or not it will, I don't know. It's very early days. I literally got it yesterday. I'm still waiting for the screen protector because I as soon as I get a camera, always put stuff on there to protect it. Lens cover, screen protectors, all that kind of stuff.
But balance it on the corner of the table.
And still balance it on the corner of the table, yeah, exactly.
With cats fighting.
Okay, right, questions. Deathstroke says, evening all, hope you're all well. Sorry can't watch, currently sitting in A&E. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. Is that showing on the screen? Yes, it is, yes. Oh, that's awful. Sorry to hear that. And also Rick H as well is not so great. Found a blood clot in his leg, so he's taking some meds for that. So hopefully you're on your way to being fighting fit, Rick. It's sad, isn't it, how we all get older and things stop working. else do we get? Yeah, don't squish any pins. Nick Barnes says, wow, quick focus. That is the idea, that hopefully it should start focusing and behaving. Making videos is a pain in the ass. And when I have to make extra sure that I've got additional B-roll that I filmed, just in case the video goes a bit pear-shaped and starts going all over the place in terms of losing focus, I think, that's all right, I'm just talking, I'll just chuck some B-roll over that and no one will notice. So now, hopefully, in theory, I should have to do a lot less of that. But we will see.
What happened to your tracking camera, Mike?
Tracking camera is currently on top of the monitor, which I might still start, I might use that again. It's a very strange setup we've got here in it. For live streaming and all that kind of stuff, it's actually a really difficult thing to do in this setup. Like, we do it because we just make do with what we got, but yeah, it is a bit of a nose. Anyway, right, I'm gonna get rid of this crap. Positive mental. Yeah, there might be a blooper now when I shave off my face.
What are you using?
Trimmer.
I've not used that for ages.
I know, I haven't had a beard for ages, either.
It's so messy.
I know, but I've got to do it because it's driving me mad.
No blood, please.
Nearly lost the nose there.
If this Mike's only fans.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. I can't see it. There, that'll do. Try shaving under disco ball conditions. Thank you, Bob. I will. Much appreciated.
No RGB on that
Oh,
shaver.
missed a bit. It's quite funny actually. When I used to, this is what I used to use just to do my hair, and before I had the kahunas to go full baldy. Is that better? I missed loads. I can't see. Oh, there's another super chat come in. Bless your hearts. £20, Bob. Bless you. That's very kind. And also €20 from our good friend Stuart Cleary over across the water. So it is, bejesus potato. Am I allowed to say that? Lucky Man says, oh my god, I can see a lip nip come in. There we go. Thank you both. Much appreciated.
I thought you were thanking me for getting up.
Thanks, Kath, for getting up. Actually, 69 current viewers.
Do balls then.
Do the balls.
Do the disco ball.
Demonetised. Oh, this is shite. I think I said it was good in the review. You're right here trimming. Get down and do the old back, sack and crack, but yeah. Ugh, not as good as the skull shaver.
Oh, Bill's in.
Well, Bill! Yeah, it's better. Feel about three days younger. Ah, righty, there we go. There's Ugly Bob coming in a super chat again. 69 viewers. Nice. Truck Fan says, I work a lot with old digital cameras. Don't you agree it's fun to faff around pressing buttons and loading batteries and memory cards? With old cameras, no, it's a pain in the ass because every time you open up the battery flap, you're like hoping and praying that the damn thing is going to go back where it came from without springing off or some bit of plastic snapping.
You upset David Underhill?
Sorry, David Underhill. Slim Boy, my apologies. I do apologise. Okay. Patrick LaBelle says, hello. Hi. Strange thing to start watching and see someone shaving. I know. Could have been worse. I've done a particularly bad job there. I have to have a proper shave at some point. Anyway, so what else was? Oh yeah, let's get this PC because I want to see if this thing's actually going to work. So we're going to go through and swap out the graphics card. I think actually let's have another quick look at what is going on. So currently the NVIDIA RTX 3060 is 1% ahead at 35% against the 6600 being 34%. Intel Arc still only 11%, which is quite telling actually. Really is. And something else. For those of you that have clicked on something else, let me know.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah, Kath did. Right. If you clicked on something else because you have another suggestion of a video card in and around that same price point that you would have preferred to have seen in there, please do let us know in the chat what that graphics card is, because that would be awesome. Clear the screen.
David Hunterhill says Slim Boy likes watching the screen, especially Poppy.
Oh, yeah, Poppy's outside, isn't it?
I'll put her on.
I don't know where she is. Yeah, she'll be in the back. Kieran says a A770 16 gig. I know, but it's too expensive. Jan says RX 6700 XT. I know, but it's a lot more expensive. What's a 6700 XT at the moment? We're looking at what, 300 quid plus? Maybe slightly under if you're lucky. Lucky Man says a 4070. That's almost the same price. Andy Archer says RTX 480. That's the new hodgepodge. It's a Radeon RX 480 with ray tracing. Yeah, so a lot of people saying 6700 XT is brilliant. Voodoo 3DFX, that would be nice. I would like that. Stuart Cleary says maybe the something else was a vote for some more competition and less of a monopoly. That is true. It would be nice to have another player in the graphics card market rather than the current 2.5. Sorry, Intel. It's true. Truck Fan says a VIC-2 chip. Yeah, that's not going to get very far. Okay, let's get this PC out, if I can find it. It's down here somewhere. Leanne Lee, no. That's my PC. Oh, it would be that one, wouldn't it? Oh, God. Whatever. Oh, shit. Do you like all the paraphrasing I'm doing here now? Oh, that's all right. There's the graphics card box, so I can take that out.
Positive mental attitude.
I am positively attituded. I'm definitely going to knock something off here. How's the autofocus doing? We doing well? Jay Gordon says AMD ending driver support for good old Polaris.
Rub your cream, Link.
Please, Q-Link, grant me the power to take this PC apart and not destroy anything inside it. Thank you. And also, Baby Jeebus, if you're listening, and Flat Earth Santa, please help me.
My Q-Link's got a cat bite from Poppy.
Help me, Flat Earth Santa, you're my only hope. Well, I'm going to have to get off the camera a minute to get this out of the box. If you hear any loud noises, such as... Oh shit, that didn't sound good. If you hear the noises of a PCI Express slot being ripped out, I could
lessen the thing and you could be in it still.
Yeah, if I lessen the zoom, I would still be in the picture. The thing.
Flat Earth Santa isn't far away.
Flat Earth Santa. Now it may get to the point where I'm actually trying to sell this PC. It may actually end up being... I may actually end up having to reshell the whole thing.
Sorry.
Because this is a relatively expensive case. And I think it's going to be one of those things where some people are going to look at it and go, well, I don't really want a PC with a monitor in front of it. So this is going to be one of those things where I'm kind of testing the water a little bit to see what people's opinions and thoughts are on this style of case. And potentially there's going to be people that just don't dig it at all, which I completely understand.
camera's video output setting 1080 at 30 or 60?
It's currently, well, the camera's outputting it 4K at 25 FPS, but OBS is giving out a 1080p 30 FPS stream. So it's a little bit mismatched, but it kind of generally is. So for those of you that haven't seen this before, this is the Jonsbo PC build. Oh, you swine.
J. Gordon, AMD, engine driver support for good old Polaris.
Yes, I did say that just now.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. New worries.
As interesting as it was, I must have switched it off.
As interesting as it was. Right. I knew what I need to do. I should get some power to this PC.
I'll take that glass off before it reflecto-porns me.
Sorry, Kath doesn't want to be reflecto-porned.
Is it done?
Yep. Did I? No, didn't destroy the graphics card. I'm actually really tempted. I actually want to keep the graphics card because I feel that Intel are actually starting to win the war when it comes to drivers. So, oh, for God's sakes. Whew. Right, go on, you can reach it, fatty. There we go. Right, let's plug that into an HDMI. And we'll plug, I don't know what that is. Oh, no, that is. That is the power for the monitor. Oh, come on, Mike, don't be a dipstick. Oh, there we go. Always been a dipstick, right. Plug that in and everything goes blank. The electrics in this house are great.
Bang!
Oh, knobhead. Why you gotta do things like that?
Why not?
That's not even funny. Probably is for the majority watching. I just realised actually I've done that and I haven't even plugged in the monitor at the front. I actually took it out. Oh God.
What have you got to do?
I don't know. I just wanted to get some heat into the processor
Or the room?
so I could take it out. Look how quiet this PC is. That is so quiet. It's amazing. It's literally silent. And the fans are spinning.
Prove it.
Absolutely great. They're so slow that it doesn't matter. Oh, that one's a bit faster. Yeah, you can see. So they are spinning. So yeah, we'll get a little bit of warmth into the CPU there, because getting some warmth into the CPU is actually really helpful, because then the paste won't be quite so solidified. Big word. It's not as big of a problem these days as it would be if you had one of those AMD processors where you can essentially just rip them clean out the socket, which is generally a bad thing. Let's get that plugged in there, and that plugged in there, and hey, there we go. Now I have a display. Unfortunately, it is rotated, but it's not the end of the world because I can plug in the mouse and keyboard very quickly and rectify that. So that's all good. And it's actually made the image really dark, looking at the screen. Or has it? I kind of like the new lens. I think it was taking me a while to get used to it, but I think the new lens actually looks quite nice. And it does seem to be doing quite a good job on the colours as well. Like the RAM colours, you can see that this individual colours, rather than being just a blurry mess, which is awesome. NVIDIA RTX 3060 has now gone up to 37%, and something else has gone to 18%, so we're losing a bit on that. So NVIDIA's gaining ground, and yeah, AMD are still in second place, as you'd expect, and Intel are just chasing along in third.
Have you had a PC actually go bang?
Yeah, PCs go bang all the time.
Mookie, I didn't hear if it was said, but is there already a specific person who has purchased this, or is it going to be posted on Facebook Marketplace?
This will be ending up on Facebook Marketplace.
Andy Archer says you look more tanned, Mike.
I think it's just because that's really bright white, and as a contrast, my
I don't know if I said hi to Andy.
my face might be a little bit darker.
I've lost count.
I do like that new lens and the new camera, even though, because I've gone from a Lumix S5 to an S5 Mark II, so you'd think it's basically the same camera, but it really doesn't seem like it is. They've made it into like a S1 or S1H. Panasonic do some weird stuff. They have taken away one of my favourite features, and that is being able to, you know, normally sometimes I forget to turn off the live view thing, so when I start the stream you can see like the horizontal bars and the audio levels and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, all that stuff. They've taken that away, so you can still see it on one screen, either the HDMI output, or you can see it on the camera. You can't see it on both at the same time, which is a real nose, because my eyes are crap and I can't see the little screen when I'm filming stuff. So I quite often have the monitor, as you've seen in a lot of videos. If you watch the B-roll, you'll see that monitor is generally in the background over on the side, and I'm doing like the product photography, and I use the big monitor as my visual aid. So I look at it, make sure it's recording, look for level, focus, all that kind of stuff. But now I've got to physically go in, press a button to toggle between the two, which is just a little bit of a noise.
Actually, yeah, I wanted fan lights on it, didn't I? And they're not coming out that great, are they?
What, as in they're too bright?
Yeah, but the screen's coming out quite well on it.
Yeah, bizarrely you can see the screen that looks kind of almost as it does there.
But it doesn't look like
But
that.
those are really bright, aren't they?
Yeah, but they don't come out looking like that on real life. And that screen doesn't come out looking like that. Like it looks better on the camera than in real life.
Or the screen does.
Yeah, from this angle.
Yeah, even though it's not IPS, it hasn't got the greatest of angles.
But I'm just saying the camera picks up that
written,
nicely,
yeah.
but it doesn't pick up because you can hardly even see the fans, can you?
No.
Whereas you can see the shape of the fans and stuff here. But that was
One day they'll have a camera which is as good as the human eye, and it'll be great. I'm looking forward to that. There's a super chat. I can't see it because I've left the stupid PC in the way. You scoot on over. Vulgar Beats, how you doing, Vulgar Beats? And thank you for your 35 ZAR. What's a ZAR? I've never heard of that one before. That's awesome. Where are you from? Or where is that currency from? A ZAR. Zimbabwe? No, maybe.
Ugly Bowen now. He knows everything.
Ugly Bob will know. He's like the 007 of the stream. He's
South African Rand.
South African Rand. And they call it a ZAR. That's confusing. But thank you very much for your South African Rands. Much appreciated. I've no idea what the conversion factor is, but thank you anyway. Much appreciated.
Yeah, South Africa.
Is like 35 Rand, is that like a quid? Or I don't know what the exchange rate is, but thank you very much. That's the first, I think that's the first ZAR we've ever had. I'll have to check on the spreadsheet. Oh no, I can't, because the spreadsheet no longer works. Because IFTTT are asshats, and you have to pay for that service now. So for the last 5-6 years I've been accumulating a spreadsheet of all the super chats. No longer. Anyway, moving on. So I'm guessing this is going to have picked up a little bit of the old temperature now, at least enough to soften the paste, I would hope. So let's see if I can use a mouse. Oh my goodness gracious me, that is not easy to do. So I don't know if you can see, but the screen on the side there is, oh my god, Bob, what is that?
That was ages ago.
Oh, fair enough.
I think he's better send that to you than me, but
I wasn't far off. Right, let's... Oh, how am I going to do this? Right, where's the mouse? Oh, there he is. Right. Oh my goodness, that's not easy to do. So, shut down. Do. Shutting down.
oh, you're funny.
I should have just run something like Cinebench really, but... Oh, dropsy. That'll be fine. So, At this point now, I'd love to turn on the overhead camera. So let's turn on the overhead camera, and hopefully if I turn that on, it'll actually work rather than everything else tonight, which has just been absolute noise. That should be on and running, I think. Where's my overhead button? Yay! Overhead camera.
I know what he's just seen there.
That's a little bit blurry vision, but we'll live with it. It's fine. Right, unplug the power and wait for all the screens to go nuts, as they generally tend to. So let's take this thing apart. Is that a little bit? Oh, it's doing that again, isn't it? Right. Let me. I'll stop the stream a sec, and we'll fire it back up. That's slightly better. Okay. Hopefully you can all see this now. So let's take off the clips off the side. There's got to be something better in the world than spring clips.
Hello, Flame.
Spring clips are the devil's lettuce.
Poppy.
So we are going to reuse this CPU cooler, because I actually really like it and it works really nicely in this setup. But we're going to take off the cooler just so we can gain access to the processor. And we can sort that processor out. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now if you're wondering why I'm doing this, is because it reduces the tension evenly on both sides, so you don't get the cooler trying to tear or kind of pull the motherboard on any sort of potentially catastrophic angles. It's not so bad for Intel because they've got a really nice little mounting system going on. This is more of a thing you would probably want to do with AMD processors, well at least AM4 anyway. I think that's actually loose now. Oh, still more to go. That sounded better. Yay, there we go. So there is that done. So we can give the CPU a little bit of a clean first of all. And I forgot, I've still got the LGA bracket in there. Darn. That's another thing which I'm going to have to take out and fix again. Right, where is my isopropyl alcohol? Isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. It's been a long week. It really has. It's been one of those weeks where I could have quite easily just stayed in bed and let the whole thing just blow by. But unfortunately, I've had to put my big boy pants on and just get on with shit. Although, I must admit, there was a point today where I was trying out my new camera and I was getting really perplexed why I couldn't get my outputs to show on the big screen when I was recording, or on both screens at the same time. And I spoke to somebody on a forum and they said no, they've removed that. It's not available anymore. It's like, when you spend a significant amount of money on a camera, and it is a ridiculous amount of money, to be fair, a ridiculous amount of money for what it is, and to realise that it's not actually going to do something which the previous model you had did. Yeah, it's a little bit upsetting. I'm trying to remove thermal paste here, which actually isn't thermal paste. It looks like it's printing actually on on the side of the shield there. I'm a dummy. I really am. Right, where's the processor? Let's get that ready. And move that out of the way. Is this visible? Can you actually see this? Hopefully you can. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a T10. No, it's not. Swine. So that means I'm going to have to find the box for the thing. Right. Where is the box? You wouldn't think I do this for a living, would you? You'd think there was think I'd have a little bit more of a clue. Although saying that, for anyone out there who has actually got a YouTube channel or have done any streaming at all, or just made videos because they've had to, like corporate stuff or whatever, you understand exactly what is going on when you try and do something which you're used to doing day in, day out, and then suddenly you have to do it on camera. And it never really gets any easier because you're still thinking about all the other stuff which is going on. Which just sucks. Right, let's start in this corner. So I'm going to do just about a quarter of a turn. I'm going to do the same on here. We're going to reduce the pressure. Do it very lightly. This video, actually, for this particular CPU mount, is one of the videos which actually has gotten me more grief than pretty much any other video, other than one of the Cooler Master ones from ages ago, where people were saying, "You've over-tightened it. You've over-tightened it." And I kept on saying in the video that I'm installing this as per the instructions. And then people were saying, "Well, you should have watched Steve from Gamers Nexus video on it." It's like, I have, but the point is I'm going by the instructions that were given by the manufacturer, which is what most people will do, because that's kind of like a thing. So I, as much as I respectfully acknowledge their comments, at the same time, I'm also like, yeah, but that wasn't the point. Oh, I'm going to drop this processor. Don't drop the CPU. Make sure there's no dust on it. And where is... Can I eat some dust? I'll put that over there, because that still needs cleaning. This is the point where you don't want to drop anything in the socket. I don't like sockets on motherboards. Let's just... Can we all be in agreement that sockets on motherboards are just stupid? And they should definitely go back to how they used to be. Anyway, there's the CPU. Oh, there we go. You ever going to focus? No. Good job, you're going. So make sure I put the CPU in around the right way. Actually, let's get some extra light in there because it's a little bit dark. And do a quick visual of the pins. They're all still good. And there we go, that's nicely socketed. Well, sort of socketed. Actually, can I put that on there? There, that'll do. I'll give you a bit of extra light until I get my great big stumpy hands in there. Oh my god. Right. There has been no super chats, you're right. You can rest easy there. Right.
I was feeding flame.
There's actually a load of thermal paste on the inside of this bracket. Actually, I should say thank you very much to Rick. It was Rick, wasn't it, who sent this?
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick. So I'm still never sure if these have been... It feels a bit sticky. Like there's something there. Maybe I didn't peel off, but I think it's supposed to be there to protect the motherboard. Anyway. Put that back over the top. And now we can drop the screws back in. Screw you! If anyone can guess where that was from, there will be bonus points to be had. Poppies outside the window. So with the screws, now what we're going to do is we're going to have to undo these and listen for a click, which means that it's actually in the right place. So I'm going to give this a little bit of pressure already.
Right, Slim Boy wants to see you in a minute. Pops.
Right.
Go on the table. Say hello to Slim Boy. Popsy.
Right, that's gone in all the way, so I want to undo that. Right, one click, so we'll do a 180. Then I go onto the other corner. Do exactly the same. Right. I'm just going to wing it. As long as you don't over tighten these, I think they're alright. We'll find out. If it don't boot, I have to take it all apart. Oh, this is horrible.
Steve Gamer's Nexus wouldn't wing it.
No, we'd be too busy brushing his locks. I ain't got those either.
You rebel.
Yeah. Right, they're saying when you do this, it should go to a hard stop. So I'm not going to use too much force, but I am going to stop exactly when it bottoms out.
His hair would be dangling into the case. A bit more exciting.
Yeah, I got stuff dangling into the case, but ain't my hair. Sweat.
Hashtag blame Rick.
Hashtag blame Rick, yeah. Dave needs a bit of time off. He's got a baby to look after now. Rick's going to be resting up his leg so he can take the blame. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. That seems okay. Seems okay. Right, let's get some thermal stuff on it. Let's go, we've got some MX6 here from Antec. Let's try that. And I'm just going to do a little blob there. I think that's probably way too much. But what the hell, it's not my PC, I'm selling it. I'm joking. Not really. I need a drink.
Yeah, I'll have coffee if you're making.
Oh yeah, I'll just go and stop the stream and I'll go make you a cup of coffee, shall I? That sounds like a plan.
Oh.
We should definitely do that.
Still got half a cup there.
Well, that's right, I'll get that then.
You always do this.
Gives me half a cup. Bless you. Right, let's fire it up and see if that's all working now.
Do you want another now?
Yeah, go on then. Right. So we're going to do the same thing now. Just do backwards turn. 1, 2, 3. Backwards turn. Click. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's like a hand corner, isn't it?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I could screw that in while you make the coffee.
1, 2, 3. Do you want to?
I won't be on camera, will I?
No, do you want to?
Only my hands.
Do you want to put the fan in it? Put the fan in as well? Clip it in? You have to talk though.
I can't talk.
Well, what am I going to do? Stand by the kettle so they all get the noise of water boiling for the next
Won't work,
5
will
minutes.
it?
Good try, lads.
I was almost up for that.
Did we paste? Yes, we did.
He paced himself.
I am going to pace myself if I drink too many more of these coffees. Oh, that was almost perfect. Almost.
I could put the fans on there if you can.
You might have to. Right, let's move that out the way. And where's me spring-a-ling clips? Spring-a-ling. Something else I need to swap out on this as well is the memory, because I can't seem to get the memory RGB software to work with this particular brand of RAM, which is slightly peculiar. The RAM is actually the Lexar. the Lexar Aries, but for some reason the software that they provide doesn't appear to work with this board, or doesn't allow it to control the RAM.
Did you take the plastic off the cooler?
No, of course I didn't. The plastic stops it getting dirty. Why would you do that? Yes, I did take the plastic off. Luckily, this has been used already, so the plastic was already off, so I didn't have to make a rookie mistake. Again. So RAM-wise, I'm not too sure what I want to do with this. I'm not sure whether I should put in some other RAM.
Why is there wavy lines?
Wavy lines?
Yeah.
That is this. Gone? It's because this is a very weird thing. There's like actual radiation coming out of it.
Oh, LEDs.
Yep. You can see the radiation in LEDs. Do you know that? That LED is different. That's a cob. That one is on the... Oh, that's not too bad, eh? Just the way the camera works with it, I think. It's a bit weird. Bit weird. Right, anyway, that's done. So while we're in here, let's take this graphics card out, because the Phantom Gaming Jalopy is going to have to go, I think. Because I can't see it selling very well with that in there. As nice as it looks, I think it does fill out the case really nicely. Which is something... Which again, when you're trying to sell a PC, actually having a case which looks like it's had a lot of stuff going on, it looks like it's a bit filled out. Hey Chris Hartford, how you doing? Hey Matthew Day as well. Matthew Day was first on the block today, yeah, bless your heart. Thanks for joining us. What did you, Matthew Day, this is important, what have you had for tea tonight? Because we, as you know, we'll always go down to our local cooperative in Down End Village. I hate calling it Down End Village, but it is a village. Yeah, we go down to our local cooperative store and get some yellow stickers, or well, orange stickers they are, and get some reduced items.
Not been much now the last few weeks.
But it's been piss poor. We've got 2 big packs of meat. Kath likes a bit of meat.
But not that sort of meat.
But it was a bit too processed. She likes it raw.
But I don't like I don't like it raw.
Right, there we go. That's, we're going to stick in the ASRock Challenger because, well, basically I don't have an RTX 3060 here.
Pizza, yellow sticky and a microwave baked potato.
Yes. I still haven't had my tea yet. The closest I got to having some tea was...
Should Truck Fan keep watching or go work on his PC?
I think you should work on your PC and listen at the same time. I think that'd be the best course of action. The torch is from a company...
Oh.
The torch is from Ring. A company called Ring. Here in the UK. I'm not sure you can see that.
How many shades
Still
lighter does it take things?
Still on the main camera.
How many shades lighter does that Ring?
Is that showing?
Yeah.
So that is the Ring. I'm not sure if it's got the model number on it. Should have in here somewhere.
Like you're going to see that.
That's what camera's for. Does it say it on there?
Down a bit. Let me look.
Kath's going to look. I'm not sure what the model is. I was going to do a review on it, but I think they stopped selling them because they upgraded them to another model. But it's made by Ring, and it's a twin lamp doodah thing. There's a C mark on there, but it doesn't say anything about it. Don't think. No, I can't see. Anyway, let's go back to the overhead.
Have you got a link, please?
I don't. Yeah, I bought it from my work, which is Motor Parts Down End, but I don't think they ever had them on their site. I did try and find them on Amazon, but I couldn't see them. Because they are... It's actually really good, because it's USB rechargeable. Although, because of its age, It is a USB micro rather than being USB Type-C, which was a little bit unfortunate, but the battery lasts long enough that it isn't too much of a problem.
Is the competition for the low-priced items intense, or is it the same group of people still?
I'm not...
For the co-op?
Oh, yeah. For the co-op, sorry. No, it's not too bad. To be fair, they're a really nice bunch of people.
It's usually the same.
And
ones.
it's the same, yeah, there's the same group of people. There's about 6 or 7 of us, I think. There's Jim.
We can't say names.
Bob.
But we find out Alan
Julian.
is like really old.
Alan.
I mean, you wouldn't guess.
Alan's 95 years old and he comes down there every day. I thought he was my age. He looks...
Oh, and he's so cute.
He's awesome. He can't see very well, so he's always passing stuff over. He's like, how much is that? How much is that? Bless his heart. Any of you, if you're actually, for some bizarre reason, you're ever watching this, those guys are awesome. And yeah, it's really nice because they were their own little I wouldn't say they're a group, but it got to the point where we were all kind of turning up at the same sort of time, and we all kind of knew of each other but didn't really speak. You know what it's like when you go shopping. More times than not, you don't speak to anyone, do you? Just like go in, face like a slapped ass, do your stuff, buy you whatever it is you're buying, and then you piss off and go home and be miserable and stick on the TV or Mike's Unboxing, and then eat all the chocolates you bought and then feel really guilty about it. Sorry, is that just me? Is that my life? But it's quite nice that you go there and they're like, even when you walk in the door, they see you come in, they're like waving out, oh, all right mate, all right mate. It's great, love it. Kath's smirking to herself there, because that was a really good impression of one of the guys there. He's so friendly, he's bloody lovely. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, I suggest if you can, go to your local shops, spend local if you can, go in there, try and do like similar sort of time, and you'll find that there's other people that do the same thing. They go shopping at the same time because they either finish work or they know what time the sticky labels are coming out for the discounts. And it's great because you can just make friends with people.
And they get things that they know we want.
Yeah.
And give it to us when we get there because we're always late. Because Mike's always got those on.
Quite often they will actually, they will like say, oh, we've got such and such over there. It's great value.
And they even put it in their basket stuff for us, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, bless their hearts. They're really nice people. There are nice people out there in the world. You just got to find them. And when you find them, grab them and give them a big hug, like I did to the neighbourhood watchman.
He hasn't been back since.
He hasn't been back since, to be fair.
2017?
Yeah. If you're getting pestered by your neighbourhood watch, the best thing I find to do is to give them a hug.
When you're drunk and sweaty.
When you're drunk and sweaty and coming from the garden. Oh dear. I did feel a bit bad about that after. But I did give him a fiver towards the neighbourhood watch, so...
Just a lot of money back in those days.
Yeah, I could have bought a load of sandwiches. Right,
He got squashed.
where's the box for my processor?
A fiver hush money.
Yeah, I've just abused you. So here's some money to not tell your friends.
Wasn't that when you made all those silly life hack videos?
Yeah. I got really drunk and started making up videos. It was great fun. Right, where's the box for this processor, Kath Churchill? Oh, there it is, under the desk. Of course it is. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, God. Right, let's put... Oh, I nearly sat on the glass bloody side panel then. That'd be a disaster. Actually, this is turning...
Could be called
This is-
SpongeBob SquarePants then.
SpongeBob Square Arse. I need more hands.
You've got 2 pairs, isn't it?
That is...
That was hard, wasn't it?
That was tough. Life is hard. Right, let's go back to the main camera for a bit. And I can pack away the old graphics card. If I can find it. Where do I even put it? I don't know. Right, let's put that
I like
there.
to make friends with people online but not in person.
I struggle, to be honest with you. I am a real social phobia person. I hate meeting people, going out, doing anything. Anyone who knows me or has known me for a long time will know that I really struggle with social phobia. I have done for many, many years. And it's a thing, a lot of people suffer from it. And you probably think, oh, you've got a YouTube channel, you've been in front of like tens of people. It's hard at times.
I'm a sales person.
Yeah, and I work in like retail sales, and I worked at the BBC, where there's basically, you go onto the set and there's best part of like 100 people all waiting for you to make your move, sort of thing. And yeah, it's quite a stressful thing. I think a lot of people do suffer from social anxiety. I think it's quite a natural thing, because we're all a little bit insecure, and there's so many nutters in the world as well, which doesn't help things. And I think maybe it is getting a little bit easier to some instances, but yeah, we all got our cross to bear. Some people are just like super confident and happy, and they can go out into the middle of a room full of people and not bat an eyelid. I'm sadly not one of those people. I would rather go into the room adjacent and hide behind the brooms. I did actually do that.
Neighbourhood Watch, what's that?
Neighbourhood Watch is...
Fiver. I'll never see him again.
Yeah. Neighbourhood Watch is, in the UK, was originally devised as a, like almost like an outreach thing for the police. So because the police didn't have enough numbers to kind of do their normal walkabout patrols, etc., they kind of designed this neighbourhood watch thing. So what they would do is they'd get a group of leaders from the community together, and they would kind of be like a liaison. So then you'd be like, this neighbourhood watch person would be like the head of the local, I don't know, group, and they would be in contact with the police and other things, and if there was crimes that were reported, they would go through them. They would then relay the information to the local people. Also, if you had any crimes, you could report them to the neighbourhood watch, and or say like, we've got a problem with teenagers hanging out around X area, can we have a police patrol? And they would make a note of it, pass it on to the police person. So yeah, basically it was kind of like a community thing of awareness of security issues and things going on in your local community, but also a way of getting someone from the police to at least kind of acknowledge it. So you didn't actually have to register things as a specific crime, get a crime reference number, or kind of to kind of grasp someone in or whatever. You could just mention it in these neighbourhood watch meetings, and it would get passed on, and the police would be like, okay, meetings. We understand. They kind of did, but it kind of came out of favour a bit. I think when the internet became more of a thing, it was more of a kind of, they'd send emails and you'd have online groups.
Do you ever hear from them now?
Yeah, I get emails every now and then. Mostly crime reference numbers, bizarrely. Yeah, it's basic.
I thought that was all gone.
It still is a thing, I think, neighbourhood watch. You used to get, you can get a sticker which you can put in your window to say, I'm a member of the neighbourhood watch, so don't mess with me, because I'll send you emails.
I prefer my phone callers.
Probably better off just buying a massive dog. A massive, big, scary dog. That works wonders in a lot of instances.
Or a Poppy.
Yeah, or Poppy. She's got these really long claws. Right, let's get this graphics card put away before I break it. Get this card put away, or so help me. Where do I actually... I don't know, it's behind me. I do try to keep all of my graphics cards and all my stuff in their respective boxes, because you never know when you're going to need stuff, or kind of like if you're going to sell something, it's nice to have all the bits and pieces available. Even things like the PCI Express card slot covers and things like that. So what else am I missing here? There we go. I think it shows that an item's been looked after, despite the fact you've probably spent God knows how long benchmarking on it. I'm actually very tempted to put this A770 back in my video editing PC. As much as I do like the 6800, I do miss this card for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. I really do want Intel to do better. It's been a very long time since I've had a dedicated Intel graphics card. for those of you that are old enough to remember the old Intel AGP graphics cards, I think they did a PCI one as well, not PCI Express but PCI, and it was the, I think it was the Intel i740 or i720 maybe. If someone's got the internet in front of them, probably you have. Have a look. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Intel's standalone graphics cards. I think it would have been around about 2000, maybe 99. It's always hard to tell on those dates for those, but I think it was around that sort of time. Hello. Slim Boy. Poppy's on the screen. Did I put the... Yes, I did. Cat face. Matthew says 740. One model was Starfighter. That is absolutely right. Yeah, well remembered. The Intel i740, which was around same sort of time I think as the ATI Rage Fury, and possibly around the similar sort of time as the Voodoo cards as well. Maybe slightly towards the end of Voodoo cards, probably closer to the kind of TNT cards. Okay, why does that not want to go in there? All right, why don't you want to go in the box? There you go. Right.
Have you ever squished a CPU Mobo pin?
I think we've had this conversation, haven't we? Yes, I have done. Sadly, it's never a nice thing to happen.
Oh, Guy Stalker's got to go early because he's teaching his grandkids how to fly drones.
Oh, cool. Nice one, Sky. I didn't see you in the chat, sorry, but thank you for stopping by. I can't see the chat at all, to be honest. Right, I'm going to tidy up this wiring because that's a little bit unpleasant. Where is that coming through there? Okay. How can I make that look nicer? That is a problem with these kind of chimney style effects. Is yeah, that just looks but ugly, doesn't it? How can I make this look nice? That could be a struggle. This is looking one of those things that is kind of... Graphics cards have gotten to such a point now where they are such a weird shape and size. And the PCB is kind of like almost less than 2/3 of the graphics card. So you've got all this massive cooler kind of hanging over the edge. It's a bit like when I look at my t-shirt. I was like, oh.
Oh, Slim Boy says, "G'day, Poppy."
G'day, mate. Put another shrimp on the Barbie. Are we allowed to say that?
Not in Austria.
Not in Austria. Come on. Come on, you can do it, Michael. I've got faith in me.
Can you read in a weird accent? In a minute.
I do. It's called Bristolian.
The comment.
I don't have much choice. That is my accent. Right, is that going to go... Oh, that just looks awful.
You got what I meant though, yeah?
I did, yeah. That might have to do. Oh, that is so annoying.
Have you recently gotten anything stuck in your Hoover?
No. No, there's been nothing stuck in my Hoover of recent times. That's
Tell a letter they have to wear collars because they've got their key to their cat flap on it.
Yes, that is true, yeah. A letter, they do have to wear their collars, unfortunately, because they have like these magnetic things to open their front door. Right, that'll have to do.
Their front door.
Their front door.
Flap.
Flap thing. Right, what else am I doing? RAM.
Matthew Day wants you to bring it through a high hole.
A high hole.
A higher hole.
High hole. High hole. High hole.
Right, do in a weird accent for
Mike, can you help me please? I am not too sure if there is like a setting or something. Was there a previous question to that? In a weird accent. It's scrolled down now, I can't see it. What was the question, Kath? In a weird accent. Don't worry, I'll scroll.
It's quite long for me.
Right, here we go. Let's get that. In a weird accent. Hi Mike, finally got rid of my AM5 system as I had to replace everything at least twice. Welcome to my world. And now I have a 13600K Z790 Tomahawk. However, my temps are 67, which is great, but my power draw is only 150 watts. That's what is that your idle?
Stock.
Yeah, is that your idle temperature or is that your load temperature? And if your idle power draw is at 150 watts with a 13600K, it sounds like you haven't turned on the when you go into the CPU cooler settings, you've got the option for box cooler, tower cooler, or AIO, or water cooling. Choose water cooling, and then that will allow it to go up to, I think, closer to 200 watts, I think. I don't think there's a limit. I think it's like 4096 watts or something stupid.
R23 idle, it's low.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got the restrictions on for the stock cooler.
Do you want Discord or
Yeah,
are they in there?
I think they're on the Discord already. Right, let's see if I can get this to bend round.
Reach round.
It's going to have a reach around. I knew there was some reason why I didn't want to attempt this and why it stayed under the desk. It's like, la la la, it's not there, I can't see it, it's fine. Oh, you absolute swine. Right, I'm going to cut that off. And cut that off. Cable ties and cable management is an absolute pain in the barrock. Right. Let's chuck that in there.
Have you had an ARGB cable not reach?
Yes. I've had many cables not reach. That is quite a common occurrence. That looks shit. Well, that looks shitter. I wonder if I can get one of those thingy adapters to go along there. I have a bag of adapters which Ugly Bob kindly sent. But if I use one of them, am I going to screw myself for the others? I can always order another. Let's have a look. Cables and PSU. This is a upside down adapter or 90-degree adapter. So now that is that reverse? I think it is. Hey ho. Oh, no, it's not. Damn it. Gosh darn it, it's not that size. It's one of these. And these are a matching set of 3, which I didn't want to use. Well, I bet that fits in. Oh, you absolute arse. Oh well. Well, fortunately, I don't actually have the graphics card which uses 3 of those outputs anymore, so it's better to use them and not. Although I was planning on doing a video next week on how to vertical mount a GPU, which would have involved using these.
That sounds pervert.
Thank you. I try. Right, I want to route. That is an Americanism if I ever heard one. I want to reroute this cable to just slightly underneath there, I think. Just to make it slightly more aesthetically pleasing. Although I think aesthetically pleasing on this particular build is not really too much of a thing. Please don't break. Please don't break. Wouldn't that be funny now if I broke off the USB connector? Not like funny, haha, funny as in typical. Oh, which one of those was it now? I've mixed them up. Was it that one? No. So it must be that one. Yes. Okay, let's just get that in there. Tuck that around there. Actually, yeah, this is a much nicer way of doing it. If I could see it. We'll just put it in the wrong cable again. No, there we go. Excellent. Now that is much tidier. I'm not sure if you can even see that. Hopefully you can. Oh, you can't actually with that text on there, can you? Here's the clear button. Clear. There you go. Can you see that now? I think that looks much better. Significant improvement.
Bang tidy.
Bang tidy.
You said that.
Bob.
Yeah.
That was a Bobism if I ever heard one.
What question? Truck fan. What should I do first? Mount my HDDs in their trays, install the PSU, or set up the Wi-Fi antennas?
I would do the hard drives, get them out of the way because they're major boring shit. Thanks, Ugly Bob, for sending those adapters, by the way.
Flat Earth Santa.
Flat Earth Santa come to the rescue once more. Right, let's stand up for getting this done. Let's go to the overhead. Well, actually, where's my cup of tea, man?
No bother at all, dude.
Bless your heart. Is that in there? Come on, focus. Would that be too much to ask? Thank you. I cannot wait to replace this sack of shit camera for the old one
camera.
that was on the other desk.
What, the one that was here?
Yeah.
Don't like the black car in the white case.
Mm-hmm.
Card, I suppose, is it? No.
Who said that?
Dutch Jam.
Dutch Jam don't like it. Well, tough, you got to buy it. Being as you're the nominated viewer, you have to buy it. And them's the rules.
David Underhill, those adapters are great, but I ordered the wrong ones. I'm happy to get the reverse ones.
Yeah, kind of like what I just did where I tried to install the wrong ones. It's, yeah, it is a thing. Definitely.
Has the calf bang ever actually predicted a bang?
Oh, I don't know actually. That's quite a good question.
So,
No, not that I'm aware of.
only done your back in.
Oh god, yeah.
I don't think you've actually done your back in with one actually yet.
Right, that is. I think that is going to be okay. Whatever, it's fine. Oh, that's coming uncooked. That's never a good thing. This case, I did find actually there is a slight lack of room to maneuver. It's a shame because it's actually a really nice case and the design and the whole kind of the ethos behind it is excellent, but it's just a little bit of a pain to work with. Okay. So let's have a final look inside. Now you can see the overhead shot. So yeah, that is much tidier with that. Let's get a bit extra light. Where's the light? There you go, you can see. Actually, it's not very good light, is it? You get an idea there. So that cable there, Yeah, that looks much, much nicer. And it's not really interfering too much with what else is going on there. Whoever suggested that, I think it was Matthew Day suggested that.
Good for you on the back of your head then.
Yeah. See my brain? What's left of it? So yeah, that is much, much tidier. And I like it that there's nothing under here now. So even if when it was being shipped out or whatever, it's not gonna kind of get fouled any of these fans or anything.
Was that a full eclipse?
Total eclipse.
What are your thoughts on the Lian Li 011 Dynamic Evo XL?
I personally am not a massive fan of big cases for the exact reason that we've experienced here to some extent, and that is the fact that, like, if I had a much bigger room or bigger house or whatever, then yeah, I think it's a great idea. If you've got the room, you can make use of it. Excellent. But I think for my specific needs, I just don't have the room for that kind of size case or setup. So for me, it's more of a hassle than it is a nicety. And I haven't actually seen it in any great depth, so I can't say I like it or I hate it or whatever. I just don't have enough experience of it at this time.
I really want one, but they're so expensive.
Everything PC is getting more expensive. That is the biggest problem these days that we're facing. Is that
PCs, that is it.
no, this, yeah, everything. It's the kind of I hate to say the cost of living. It's nothing to do with the cost of living. That the cost of living is a thing. Like, it costs to live. We all know this. It's not any miraculous new discovery. It's just the way that money is being plundered into some areas, which probably it kind of shouldn't, or would be better if it didn't. But sadly, we are governed, so we kind of got to do what we're told, which sucks. So I get our little WinMaxit monitor out here, because I'm going to need to validate that all this is working, get some new drivers installed and that kind of stuff. And whilst we're doing that, I can take a look at some of your chat, see what you're all thinking. And actually, if there's anyone there who is really, really bored and wants to work out what this PC should sell for, using something like PC Part Picker or I don't know, whatever you want to use, then please do have a look and see what this should be going for, or could be going for.
Truck fans, taking a break. I'm going to do some more wrenching.
Good luck with your wrenching. Is that my HDMI? What is wrenching? Is that spelt wrong? I hope not. Where's HDMI? There we go.
David Underhill reckons it's worth $5.
$5. $5 whole dollars. I think that sounds like a bargain. Is that USB-C? Yes, it is. Oh, yes. Excrement. Right, where's me pooer plug? There it is. Don't do it. Oh, I'm struggling to get it in the hole. Spit on it, be fine. See, that always worries me when the stream dies when I plug in stuff. There's something definitely wrong with this electrical system going on here. Right, let's turn this off. Oh, you asshole! Stop doing that!
Wonder what George thinks upstairs.
Don't do that.
Andy Archer give you £10 for it.
Tenner, done. You have been.
£100 if you send it to Germany.
Yeah, it costs £100 to send it. Is this actually booting now? What kind of error lights can we have today?
Wrenching is PC building.
Ah, well, I have a display on that screen now, but nothing on this one. Hello, McFly.
I made ugly Bob jump as well.
You silly. Oh, that's working now. I think that USB-C on the back doesn't work.
Rick would pay £2.50.
Or this graphics card doesn't work. What's going on?
No, it's wife jump as well. Sorry.
Right, why is that not doing that? Right, let's turn this off. Clearly the processor works because we're getting a display. So let's unplug that. Now unplug that. Do we get any display? Ah, there we go. We have a display. I was getting a little concerned there. It's like, oh god, if something's not working again. Ah, let's plug in Ethernet. Ow, bastard. There's not enough room in this place. It ends up just hurting me. Ethernet there. Right, let's download some drivers. Driver! Now I don't have to uninstall the Intel driver because we're still using an Intel graphics adapter inside. Well, the IGPU, whatever. So let's go. Oh god.
Why does it all look so dark?
Because it's oh, I know. Hang about. Exposure mode. Metering mode, that's what we want. Metering mode. Whole screen. I think that's it. Oh god, that's got worse, hasn't it? Metering mode. ISO auto. That should get brighter. Yeah. It's because the screen in the middle is brighter. I think if I'm in the shot, it'll probably do.
Oh, that might have been what it was.
It'll do
Suddenly...
fat person auto detect.
No, it's still quite dark.
Yeah, I think it's because the brightness of the screen. I'm going to have to do some work on this camera setup, Lark.
How does GPU driver work with both Intel CPU graphics and NVIDIA GPU?
It's fine. They work together quite nicely. Most of the graphics cards now are designed to kind of work in tandem with each other because, like, pretty much every Intel, well, not every, the large majority of Intel processors have integrated graphics, so clearly they're going to be Intel on board. AMD have done the same thing, so AMD modern processors now, pretty much all of them apart from the 7500F, that doesn't have integrated graphics, but all the others do. So it is going to be a thing where graphics drivers are going to have to learn to coincide with each other.
Letter?
I can't see. That's a pretty purple colour on the kitty.
No, I predict Microsoft. You're miles away, I think, from the bottom. That's hours ago.
Oh yeah, someone paused it. That was me. I predict Microsoft will stop numbering Windows. Was that?
Yeah.
As I guess. And switch to letters instead, like Windows FU. That's not too bad. I quite like that. Oh, looks like I think the drivers have installed themselves, haven't they? Let's.
Is that a Radeon you put on in the PC?
Yes. Yeah. So currently now I've got the AMD drivers with Intel drivers. Actually, I'm using this as similar setup on my video editing PC. So I've got a Intel 13th gen processor, and also I've got a Radeon RX 6800, and they actually work okay together. Let's do
Why is it
AMD.
still so dark?
I don't know.
Should I turn that light off and on again?
Yeah, can do.
I'll see if that makes a difference, because that screen's sort of to the side now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's, is that a bit better?
Yeah, not much.
Okay, I'll have to look. AMD drivers and support. Yes, accept all cookies, whatever. Download Windows drivers. Oh, for anyone who's really annoyed that the downloads section is now at the top rather than being in the downloads tray, got a fix for that coming up. I hate it. I don't like that. They call it the bubble, the download bubble. They can bubble off. Would you be interested? No, I wouldn't. Go away. As they say in some certain places, get to...
FU.
Yeah.
Windows FU.
Windows FU, mofos. For install... Oh, don't want the Pro drivers, have the Adrenaline. AMD, no. Bog off. Privacy view, whatever.
Listen. Oh, she didn't do it.
It's doing silent. Right, let's see. I can't remember what the bloody settings are for this for...
Truck van will be back soon.
Cheers, truck fan. Auto white balance, no. Shadow, no. Highlight, no. Contrast, sharpness. There we go. Metering mode. So center weighted. Oh, where is it there? Spot metering. Highlight
metering.
weighted. Multi-metering. So that should take into account everything. But I don't think it is. I think it's just a slightly darker lens.
It was dark earlier.
It's slightly wider. That's nuts. Right, that's installing. Bear with me. I'm going to go and use the little boys' room and grab them. Hey. Hey. Oh, actually, I've got a button for this now, haven't I? Oh, hang on. I can't do that. I've got my trousers undone now. Good job I got widescreen. Right, I'm going to take a very, very quick bathroom break. I'm going to put you on the timeout and we'll be back shortly.
What we do here is go back.
There we go. We're back. Right. Got some of these sugary things. And looks like the driver's installed, so that's awesome. Oh, whoa. If anybody else wants one, stick your hand in the air. Not bad. Oh. Restarting.
Poppy Dora. You're a carnivore. You can't have a pitch.
No. Let's tidy up this mess. Because I have made a mess. So I think this is going to be infinitely easier to sell with the...
Did you eat that in one go?
No. Half a go. Mmm. That's quite good.
Mind your fingers.
Just checking the chat there. Right, that seems to have worked, and we have a display, even though I can't really see it because eyes. I need to change the colours actually, don't I? Yep, NZXT cam. I don't know why I'm using touchscreen. Oh, Intel driver support. There is something really annoying actually. If you've got an Intel chipset motherboard or Intel processor or Intel graphics card, there's updates all the time. It's friggin' annoying. It's good that they're kind of keeping an eye on things and updating, but it just seems like it's very often. Come on, NZXT. All I want to do is go to Rainbow Puke, for goodness sakes. No, it's running now. Ah, that's what I needed to do. Of course, yes. It defaults to Rainbow Puke, and I forgot I needed to uninstall it because I installed, there's a beta version, or beta, however you pronounce it, for the cam software, and I installed that and then I uninstalled it, and ever since I've done that it doesn't want to run at startup, so I do need to configure that, so I'm probably going to end up doing a fresh install anyway.
What are you eating?
Pitch. Clearance 35p, get in.
Chocolate's a bit hard, isn't it though?
Yeah, it's like there's a flake inside of it, but it's more like it's got the texture of pepperami.
Is that why you were taking it off?
It's lovely. It's really nice. Intel 12400. O'Reilly's in house. £10 and says, sorry for being late. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. Is the bloody mouse gone now? Oh, of course I'm on that screen, aren't I? I can't even click on it. My apologies. Thank you, O'Reilly. How's your installation going? I have to get over to the side, I can't see the chat. Well, I can a little bit. Anyway, the lights are working. The RAM is kind of working. Ah, that's a point. Let's see if I've still got the Aries RAM software installed. Who makes Aries RAM? That is Lexar. I think I've uninstalled it.
Crypto KJ is in. That used to be UK Miners Club.
Ah, I've got you. How you doing? Can't see you in the chat? Now, actually, if anyone else has got an NZXT motherboard, it's a really, really pain in the ass thing that you cannot change the RGB RAM through NZXT cam. I honestly don't understand like the mentality behind it, because surely like all the other manufacturers have managed to do it, and being that effectively it's an ASRock motherboard, you'd think that there would be some element of control. So technically there is not a single RAM stick that does RGB on the market that is actually compatible with the NZXT motherboard. So they're expecting you to use LPX or something.
Rick H.
Rick H. Rick H. So you're going to sell that PC? So are you going to sell that PC with the contact frame I got you? I see how you are. Probably will do. I might take it out, but I doubt it, to be fair. I probably will buy another one though. They are really good. But thank you, Rick. Do appreciate it. I see you have a smiley face there, so you're not taking it badly. Don't worry, it's fine. I'll make sure it gets looked after. It'll be catered for. I'll even put it in, I'll put his box in there as well and put, this was from Rick H, just so you know. No worries.
Question, will you have...
It always makes, actually, sorry, it always makes me, whenever people donate stuff to the channel and send stuff, when I eventually end up kind of passing it on or selling it or whatever I do with it, I always feel really bad because it's like, obviously it's a gift, but also if I kept every single gift we ever had, we literally would not have any room to move it. It'd be horrendous. So yes, for anyone watching, if you are ever potentially going to send anything to us for a review or as a gift or whatever, it might get sold at some point or given away to someone else or passed on. Unfortunately, but that is that's the way we work. I know Rick understands. He's just pulling my leg. Right, quick setup. Let's put that onto performance. Start gaming.
Nick Barnes, question: will you have reset XMP settings?
Good question. I don't think so, but that is a good question, and I should check that. So I'll have a look in CPU Z and see what we're currently running at. I'm hoping it's still going to be the same.
Crypto says, did you ever get that AMD card repaired?
Which one was that? Was that the 6900? The XT that went back to MSI? If it wasn't, no. They were unable to fix it, so it was refunded. RAM frequency is currently running at 1600. So SPD, yeah, JDX 1600, that's right. Just currently running at DDR4 3200. Now the reason behind that, it is DDR4 3600 RAM, but because the memory controller on the 12th gen i5s, and I think some of the 13th gen only goes up to 3200, it's not always a good idea to try and push it further than what it wants to be. Also, you do get some latency penalties as well, because if you use it in like a Gear 2 mode or Gear 3 or 4, then you're not running in the same kind of cycles. Whereas if you use it Gear 1, it's kind of like a 1-to-1 ratio, which is generally better. So I try to run it 1-to-1.
Crypto says, the one someone sent you a few weeks back, I think it was a RX 570. Is it Skies?
Oh, yeah, the RX 470. Yeah, flashed the BIOS on that and it was all good, all happy. Ran quite nicely, actually. Right. Right, I need to check this RAM. I'm going to try this Lexar RAM again. So we've got Lexar RAM in there, obviously, you can see that. And, oh, piss off, Google. Alright. Yeah, turn it on, whatever. Yeah, got it, whatever you say. So let's go to Lexar. Let's see if it's just me being a dipstick or whether it's just this does not compute. Lexar Aries RAM software.
A letter question?
I can't see over there.
Can you move the screen round?
Not really. Well, I can, but it gets further away so I can see less. Actually, no, that might not be too bad. I'm not sure if it's in the shot though. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's alright, that's fine. Letter says, I don't understand the mentality of having RGB RAM.
No,
I understand.
It's the last comment we had.
Last one. What would be a good NVIDIA GPU to replace a 1660 Ti for gaming and streaming? Asking for a friend. I would probably go with a 3060 Ti. Those are pretty decent. If you can get a used one. If you're looking for new, it's really tricky because the replacement for the 3060 Ti is basically the 4060 Ti, which is basically the same card with a few tweaks. And it's about 100 quid more. But you get nothing really for that extra money. So it's a hard one at the moment. I would say probably a 4060 non-Ti might be a better buy if you can get a cheap one. Or if not, 3060 Ti all the way. You could maybe go Team Red. Similar sort of money. The RX 6700 XT. You might even be able to squeeze an RX 6800. Welly Bob says the 3060 Ti is a superb card, highly rate it even now. Yeah, the 3060 Ti is great. It really was a great card. I think it'll be remembered quite favourably. Right, support, download. Yeah, whatever. Oh, choose your region. I'm in the UK. Not to be confused with Ukraine or whatever the other UK things are.
Alrighty.
United Kingdom. Memory. Hang on a sec, it won't be a moment. Software. Lexar DDR RGB sync. That is the one we want. Tool for sync for Windows. DDR4 sync for Windows. That's the one we want. And it goes to the bubble. I hate the bubble. O'Reilly says swap my C and H drives seamlessly from 2.5-inch SSD to M.2 NVMe drive. Gen 4. My system drive has even increased. It was a 500 gigabyte SSD, now a 1 terabyte NVMe. Hopefully you used, well, I'm not sure what software you would have used. I've actually been looking this week for a piece of software. Now that Macrium Reflect Free is now no longer, it's gone. They want to charge for it. So I've been looking for other programs. And Disk Genius seems to be a very good replacement. And it doesn't ask for any registration or anything. It's a completely free download. So if you do want to clone a drive or to migrate from one drive to another, very good tool. Very quick as well. So definitely worth taking a look at that. If that is your thing, of course.
Where's William Booty gone?
I'm not sure.
Must be tired out.
Windows protected your PC. Thanks. Run anyway. Lexar, if you're giving me a virus, I would take back anything positive I said in the reviews. Next, whatever. Yes, install Chinese backdoor. Yes, restart the computer now. No, I will restart later. Thank you. But it's nice that you're thinking of me. Right, start, return, restart. Sorry, I know you can't see this screen at all, but, well, you might be able to actually. You've probably got better eyes than me. But we'll see.
JK?
JK? Was there a question or was it just that statement?
Just that statement.
Ah, right. Micro ATX is the new ATX, I think. Micro ATX does have a lot going for it, but it's a tricky one. You have to make sure that you get the right motherboard for it. Otherwise, your graphics cards end up being too low, and they generally are going to get kind of just trapped in a heat wash, which is never a good thing, especially if you're trying to build a PC which has some level of kind of performance to it, or generate some heat. Right, Lexar lighting effect. DRAM, yes. Let's do rainbow and apply.
William is there, he's modding us.
And is it going to do anything at all? I noticed he's modding the keyboard. Fair play. Right, LED off. Apply. Right, so the Lexar software refuses to communicate with the RAM. And I don't know why. That is very, very annoying. It doesn't say why. So I am a bit of a loss. I don't want to put signal RGB on or something like that because it's just a pain in the backside. But I think it's just such a stupid thing that yes, DRAM is selected, apply. It just makes no, it's like it doesn't even know it's there. So I don't know whether it's the actual motherboard wiring.
Might need to enable SPD read in BIOS.
That is not a bad point there actually, Glenn. I've not even considered looking at that. So SPD read, is that normally disabled, is it? I'll have a look. Let's have a restart. We go into the BIOS and see what we can find.
JK loves your reviews.
Thank you, JK. Much appreciated. If you could go and watch all, however many there is, and leave a like on each one, that'd be great. And a comment. I'll answer them. Right, so advanced mode I guess we want then, which is F6. And we want DRAM configuration, I'm guessing. Memory information. SD-RAM. Yeah, it seems to know what it is. Stepping, SPD, extension, etc.
Software for RAM?
There is software installed, yeah, that's what I just did. So it doesn't seem, got all the timings in there, turnaround timings, TAT runtime, round trip timing, ODT, I don't think there's anything like that setting in here, Glenn.
Not always an option, to be fair, but seen it before with some HyperX.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. Well, doesn't seem to be anything of that here that I can see. Yeah, CPU, that's nothing there to do with RAM. PC monitoring. CPU temperature 26 degrees. That's pretty cool. Boot. Doesn't seem to be anything in here. It sees the RAM. It says dual channel mode, etc. DRAM, CPU configuration maybe. Nothing. There's nothing I can see here that is obvious, or even not obvious for that matter. Tool. No. No, there doesn't seem to be anything that I can. Doesn't seem to be anything that I can change in any obvious way. And the NZXT software doesn't have anything in there that you can configure or do anything with. It just seems really weird that NZXT, being the brand they are, obviously they sell a lot of RGB stuff. I know they've got their own ecosystem, but surely at some point in the design phase, somebody somewhere would have went like, maybe we should add RGB support to the motherboard. It's very bizarre. Because like it's fine like that, but if I change the colours or do anything, and I'm pretty sure NZXT doesn't have even an option for RAM. I don't like NZXT. Right, active profile, yeah, PC monitoring, system specs, lighting, doesn't even, the RAM isn't even in here. Device status, RGB, no, that's the RGB thing, so you've got the fan, the light strip. Kind of showed a lot of this in the video we did of this. Cooling, CPU temperature, 22 degrees, that's insane. Keyboard, no. Mouse, no. Capture card, no. Monitor, no. Audio, no. So it doesn't seem to be any obvious way that you can do it. Right, let's, I'm going to eat another pitch. Fancy a pitch, Kath? Yeah, so I've got some G-Skill RAM. The G-Skill do their own software for their RAM, because that could be the way forward. Although, actually, is that Lexar? Well, the Lexar stuff isn't running, so let's run it as administrator, just to see if it will work. So static and apply. Doesn't appear to be doing absolutely anything. No. So it appears, from what I can tell, that there's absolutely no control with software for the RAM. So, I don't know. Nick Barnes says, Mike, it seems to be a general issue with cam not able to see RAM RGB. Might just need a restart. We have done a restart, to be fair. What RAM is it? The RAM that's in there currently is the Lexar Aries DDR4. So I'm going to uninstall that software. I really should have used a bigger font. Uninstall. Let's get rid of the Chinese spyware. Joking, Lexar. Is that Angel?
I knew you were eating because I could see.
With me?
How are you eating?
I'm not eating. It's someone else. 5-second rule is fine.
It's gone up to 10 now, cost of living.
Cost of living, 10-second rule.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Might just need restart.
Yeah, I tried that. That's what we're eating, because they were 35p. Get him.
Read more.
No, there's only 4 in there. What other RAM have we got? We've got tough RAM, but I know for a fact that's going to work, because the Thermaltake software will work. So, let's try. I've got some G-Skill Trident Z Neo, which we got off of the one and only Kieran.
Oh, I didn't say hi to Chris earlier.
So I'm going to take this RAM out and see if the G-Skill will work. Now I know
I use 64 gig RGB RAM. It reacts to sound. 4 amber from top, 2 green at the bottom.
Oh, that's cool. Sound to light RAM.
Other YouTubers have had the same issues with NZXT and RAM.
Yeah. It is annoying. Right, let's see if that will do anything. Now, I know I should have changed the XMP settings, etc, etc. I'm a bad person. Is it going to boot? Doesn't seem to want to. Oh no, we've got bad lights on there. What?
Did you see your cheek then? You're like a hamster.
I am a hamster. Right, it doesn't like that RAM at all.
What size is that?
I suppose it's upset now because I put the wrong timings in. I didn't reset it. Or if it's just that one wasn't seated very well. No, stuck in a boot loop. Might just be a bit of dust on it. Did someone say put Corsair in it? better. Yeah, the first RAM stick wasn't seated properly. System failed to boot, blah, 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 blah. Let's do F2 then. Hopefully it hasn't reset everything to defaults, because that would be upsetting. Nope, still looks like we're in XMP. So I will just change the RAM timing. DRAM frequency, let's set to 32.
Press F1 to get a beer.
Save changes and excrement.
Did you hear, sorry, Chris Hartford, board is ASRock underneath, isn't it? So does polychrome software work? Did you read that?
Not sure. I've not tried the polychrome software. I don't think it will, because I've tried ASRock BIOS and it didn't like that.
Replace the whole thing with MSI.
That's probably the best idea that I've heard so far.
Truck fan's back and has a blooper.
Oh, good. What did you do?
Lucky Man F3 for a short. And Ugly Bob F5 for kebab with chili sauce.
Right, so this isn't going to recognise, so I need to get... I'm assuming G-Skill do some software for their RAM. G-Skill... RAM, RGB, software. I guess they must do one. Download Trident Z family. Trident Z lighting control for Windows 10. Trident Z lighting control, what's the difference between that? Oh, user guide. So, Trident Z lighting control works with RGB, Neo, Royal Elite, and Z5 RGB. I'm pretty sure this RAM is Neo. So let's try that.
Truck fan's blooper was their antenna popped off when they were fitting their Wi-Fi card.
Right.
Now they have to repair it. Is that those little ones with those like little poppers that you couldn't do?
Yeah, they're nulls, they are. Right, extract all. Please work.
Lucky Man's got a link.
Thanks. Oh, what's that for the software?
gskill.com downloads.
Yep. gskill.com downloads. I got it. Thank you. Would you like to start Trident Z lighting control when Windows starts up? Oh, that sounds like a flipping great idea. And you said something else then.
You looked just like my brother then.
Did I? My apologies. Right, restart computings. Please let this work. If this works, I'll be moderately happy. I won't be overly happy because I've got 32 gigs of this stuff, and I don't particularly want to put 32 gigs of G-Skill in a computer I'm selling. So I might have to just nick... Oh, CAF's RAM's 32 gigs as well. I need 16 gigs of just plain black RAM, this cheap. Right, is the RAM going to do anything different?
Can you just gaffer tape it over?
I might... Hey! It's stopped. The RAM has stopped moving. Can you guys actually see that? You can't, can you? I'm going to turn it around. Now I can't see it, but it doesn't matter. So it stopped moving. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not entirely sure. What? The G-Skill software looks exactly the same as the other one. Like literally exactly the same. The only thing is it says sync now, whereas before it said RAM. That's exactly the same software. But now we've got things on the top as well we didn't have before. External sync with Razer Chroma RGB. Let's apply that and see what happens, if anything. Does it think it's Razer Chroma? No, it thinks it's nothing. Music. Okay, let's do that and apply. Hello? It must be music on the computer. LED
Small
off.
Success?
Sorry?
Is it a small success?
I wouldn't go as far as that, but yeah, it's not too bad, I think.
Chris Hartford asks, what GPU would you go for in a budget build? My options are RX 580 8 gig,
It's working. It's working.
5500 XT.
Hang on, I'll read it out. So, Chris Hartford, question. What GPU would you go for in a budget build? My options are RX 580 8 gig, 5500 XT, 6500 XT, or something else. I'd go with the 5500 XT. There's a good reason for that. The 6500 XT is awful unless you've got PCI Express Gen 4x4 available to it, so depending on the processor. The 5500 is actually slightly faster than the 6500. And the RX 580, the drivers are about to be disbanded for that. So if you're buying an RX 580 kind of at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, driver support is going to be very, very limited going forward. So I would go with the 5500 XT, or maybe a 6600 non-XT if you can get one, which shouldn't be, well, I suppose it is going to be almost double the price. Bob. Yeah, Ugly Bob says 5500 XT all day long.
That's his new WhatsApp profile picture.
Nick Barnes says, what about Crucial Pro with black heat spreader, 2x 8GB 30, or Clev 2x 8GB £31? I was thinking about that. Truck Fan says, I'm off, need to fix my blooper. Good luck. Hope it works out. Lucky man, I hate AMD GPU. I don't mind them. And being I've just put one in this PC, yeah. Right, let's see if we can do a thing. So where are we? I want a static color. Actually, no, let's go Comet. Or Curries. And we'll add that to our color palette. And we'll choose Apply. So we've got some purple going on there. So let's open up the NZXT Cam software, which is still refusing to open. You absolute anus. And I'm pretty sure I've got a profile called NZXT Purple, which I can enable. Then we'll have purple.
Say again which GPUs are losing support?
The RX 4, well, basically anything Polaris based. So RX 460 upwards.
Okay.
There we go, we've got some purple going on there with some purple RAM splattering across. How's that look? Right, I'm not happy. I'm one of the other ones, but I am...
Grumpy.
Yeah, I'm grumpy.
Where's Grumpy?
Right, so that does what I want it to do. Kind of.
Yes,
Spectrum.
Grumpy. Let's go Grumpy.
Hello.
Oh. She's giving me hugs.
Bless her heart. Where are we? Rainbow apply. So that's bizarre how the G-Skill RAM works, but the Lexar didn't. The software is very slightly different. I'm wondering now, if I put the Lexar RAM back in now, will the G-Skill software still work with it? I think that's a job for another day. So I'm going to have a quick look. Actually, no, I'm going to turn this off. Windows updates. Let's do a Windows update quickly.
You're fucking me too tight, Poppy.
Updates to install. Install now. Install everything. Let's just do it. I don't care. Just a rebel. Right, I need the box for that. So yeah, I am slightly disappointed. I'll be honest with you. The fact that the Lexar software didn't work, because that would have been the perfect stuff to leave in there. But anyway, such is life. I don't understand why it didn't work. Maybe it's a Lexar thing, I don't know. It is unusual, to be fair, that you find a motherboard that actually just says, nope, I'm not doing anything you ask. Hello. So there's some AMSR, whatever. Come here. Oi. Poppy.
Grumpy.
Where's Grumpy? Ah.
Where's your Grumpy?
I think I quite like that, a little bit of a wider shot. You get more in, can't you? Well, obviously because it's a wider shot. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's better? And what's the autofocus been like? I haven't seen any pulsing or any weird stuff going on, apart from my own weirdness. You getting wider?
That's as close as I go.
Yeah. Doesn't zoom in very far.
How far do we need it, about there?
William says, done with the silicone in the keyboard, need a cig now to smoke. Go for it. Alright, he says, Mike, when building PCs, do you mislay a screwdriver, then you cannot find it and you think someone has nicked the screwdriver? Yeah, especially because the cats have all got those magnetic things on their collars, which are like really strong. So I quite often think to myself, I'm sure there was something not long ago that went missing that was metal. And I was convinced that one of the cats had it, but it turned out it was actually inside the computer somewhere.
It's when they get tuna cans attached to it. If they have two of them, it looks like they've got a bikini on.
Nick Barnes says, focus is quick and sharp, a little darker, but much better with a wider view angle. David Under says, Stuart, I agree, but the price of Nvidia is more than AMD, and Intel has very little choice. That is true. Apparently, oh, Poppy's just stood on something and says ads inserted. So, I should have mentioned this earlier in the stream. There is a new thing in YouTube now where you can either choose to have ads manually added, or you can just let them take care of it. So I have let them take care of it. If you see an ad, I do apologise. It's YouTube. And with everything going on at the moment, with people being demonetised and all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to start pissing off Google and YouTube. If they want me to do something, I'm just going to go, okay, let's just do it. And yeah, you can always skip the ads anyway, which most of you probably will. Right, Pops? There we go. Right, let's change this ISO, which I can't even see now. ISO.
Shall I move?
Oh, actually, no, I don't want ISO. I want that one.
Can you purr a bit louder, Pops?
Let's try that with... Right, that is with a... Excuse me. Is that bright enough now? Actually, let me turn the other light on, because that'll be how it will be normally. So with that is that better now? Is that bright enough? Would you say? I'm rating on your comments in the stream, in the chat. Oh yes, defo. So that's the extra lights on, which we didn't have on earlier. And I've adjusted the exposure compensation to be 1/3 of a stop higher. Stuart Cleary says, I had to put a screw in all the bedroom door latches because our cat can't access the room. She'll rip the carpet underneath. Damn.
Our old cats used to jump on the door handles and open the doors.
So is that bright enough now? Is that pretty much bang on? And the autofocus. I'm not too sure if that even works.
Bob's gonna have a nice.
It should be face detect. It looked like it faced. Bang on. Stuart Cleary says, thank you.
Poppy.
Aletta says, I'm using the Brave browser, so I never see any ads. I must try that. Nick Barnes says, perfect mic, can see where you missed with your razor now. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's the point, I have to address that. Right, is this... Oh, restart now. Restart now. Yeah, I think we're on to a winner there with a G-Skill. Thanks again to Kieran for sending that in. Well, we did buy it off him, but thanks for letting us buy it anyway. Viali says has been good has been good all the time. Good. Well, that is the whole point. The reason why I've always liked Panasonic cameras is because you get a lot of features for relatively less money. The kind of the equivalent of that camera with Sony would be probably the A7S3 or the A7 IV, which is kind of like £3 plus. And I'm not spending £3 plus on a camera. Not in a million years. Well, never say never, but yeah, it's unlikely. Oh, Pops.
Gonna wave to Slim Boy?
You're so fat. Oh. David Under says, the lighting is okay, but mic is not so bright. That's just me.
Mic, nice but dim.
Is it working? Come on, restart. 92% there.
Pops.
No filters at all. Oh, I don't want to lick my fingers after you've been licking your butthole.
Take off the watch.
Oh yeah, just in case, yeah. Oh, let's finish setting up your PC. I dislike this immensely. They keep on putting this on. Skip.
Oh, Slim Boy's having a clean up as well now, Poppy.
Don't update my browser settings. Always have access to your recent... No, whatever. Let's add your Microsoft account. Uh-oh. See, they're getting crafty. So now it's like nagging for the Microsoft account. So what do we do when this comes up, ladies and gentlemen? We know the password and the username for this, don't we? Hopefully it's going to work, because if not, this is going to be embarrassing. Being as I've made videos on this. So where is that? So the email address is no@thanks.com. And our password is going to be no thanks. And oops, something went wrong. And next, you're all set. Happy days. So if you ever get that, that's what you want to do. Use the password as username no@thanks.com. Password is no thanks, and it will glitch out because it's been used way too many times. So it just bypasses it and lets you go back into good old Windows. And that is, I think that is good. I shouldn't have done the update actually, because I probably need to redo the installation anyway. Download, install. Get the latest downloads. Yeah, go on, just to do it. Whatever. Whatever.
Good old Windows Lex 11. Oh no.
Look. Do you want bikini wax? Kitty hygiene, tongue equals toilet paper. That's about right. Ugly Bob says, you say Microsoft kissed the fattest part of my ass. That sounds about right. Microsoft account. What is the problem? I don't mind. To be honest with you, on my normal PCs, I generally tend to have either a Microsoft account of one sort or another. I generally tend to use a couple of different ones just to kind of mix things up. Because if one of them gets issues with it, then at least you've got others that you can use. Where's that graphics card box? So let's stick that in wide mode. I'm going to be packing some things away in a minute, so I can see your chat still. So fire your questions into the chat whilst I'm doing this. Equalizers in the house. How you doing, Equalizer? Hopefully you're having a fantastic Saturday, or whatever day it is, wherever you are. I always kind of overlook that whole worldwide thing. It's actually one of those things that I guess a lot of people don't think about unless you do it like every day. So if you like work in a company where you have like foreign offices, then I guess you pay more attention to the world time. But I tend not to think about it too much.
Oh, Symbol is freaking out because he hated when the vet used that on him.
Oh, sorry. I'm useless.
You're spoiled with Poppy. You can play with her.
She is quite crafty. Oh, that broke. Right, screen accessory box.
Bang.
Bang. Yes, bang indeed. Let's put the shaver away. So that is a much weirder, wider shot, isn't it? With that lens. It's going to take a while to get used to it, I think. And it's quite funny actually, because at the very corners things are like ridiculous. Actually, that's not too bad, is it? You get to a certain point and you get like a massive hand. So my hand is bigger than the PC by quite a margin, but then you do get that with perspective. But it gets to a point where it stretches the image quite a lot.
Everyone can use your fingerprints now if they zoom in.
Yeah. Or whatever. Feel free. La la la. I'm going in the hallway now to put the thing on the stairs to take up to bed later. Got to take the shaver to bed because it belongs in the bedroom. Happy days. I quite like this little PC. It's had a few little things going on along the way. I think overall it's actually worked out quite nice. I should price it up really to see what it kind of, well, not as much that it owes me, but I think I always like to try and get back a sensible amount, because obviously I've put time into it, I've put effort into it. I have been donated considerably on bits, so obviously Rick H provided the little mounting plate for the processor. Bob actually sent in the fans and the CPU cooler.
And the little thing for...
Oh yeah, and the little 180 degree adapter, which actually worked out fantastic in there. That's done a really good job. I'm very pleased with that. That has done very well. Yes, very, very pleased indeed.
Well, Riley Wick does there when he installed his computer doing bangs.
Oh God.
No.
No. I'd imagine that's the last thing you'd want is Kath anywhere near you when you're building a PC. Then you'd feel the way I feel at times. But I don't mind. More times than not, when I'm building a PC, for the most part, she's not normally in the same room. She's normally out in the garden doing something. Doing some gardening stuff. She says it's gardening, I don't know. She might have a weed farm out there for all I know.
You cut the grass.
I do.
And some more carbon wrap too.
Oh.
Oh no, sorry, I missed the first bit. I've ordered some more of those GPU power connectors, black and white ones. They should be with you soon.
What? I've ordered some more of those GPU power black and white ones. They should be... Oh, Bob. Bless your heart.
Thank you, Bob.
Where do we get to? David Andrew says it's Sunday the 1st of October. David Aikens in the house. £2 super chat. Oh, I can't use that on there, can I? Sorry, I can't click on your thing, Dave.
I don't know if I can do this.
Because
now,
my
you've got my camera.
You'll be right. Thank you, Daddy Dave. for the £2.
Poppy say-
Oh, Poppy even meowed a little bit then. Oh no, it's not. It's
Oh,
not.
it's that thing.
It's the squeaking ball of doom.
It sounds just like Poppy.
Aletta says I get loud bangs here. Compliments of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Damn sonic booms. Wow, Colin, thank you very much. We've had a PayPal donation come in from Colin Hilton. Much appreciated. Thank you. Very, very kind. I'm trying to think. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Why does that ring a bell? Wright-Patterson. That's got... There's something about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, isn't there? Something famous about it, and I can't think what it is. Wright-Patterson, Wright-Patterson.
Thank you, Mrs. Patterson.
It's not Area 51, is it? That's somewhere else completely. But Wright-Patterson is... There is something there, isn't there? Is that where the SR-71 was tested or something? J. Gordon's stealth, yeah. I think that's what it is, yeah. The SR-71. Stealth fighter. Bob says, yeah, they have made a lot of stealth aircraft there. That's what I thought it was, yeah. Something along those lines. There was also some controversy there about something. I can't think what it is. I'll remember what it is later. Oh well. Anyway, right, restart now. Do your updates, god darn it. I can't believe how cool this PC runs. It's literally ridiculous. 12400 is a great little CPU. And it's idling at something like about 22, 23 degrees, which is nuts. I can't imagine it being particularly good at Cinebench. I'd imagine Cinebench probably sucks. But I'm going to give it a go.
David Underhill's got no idea how to post images on Discord. It's usually just pasting it, but it might be because he's not high enough up.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, if you're on Discord, if you're only in the newbies group, you can't actually post stuff to any of the rooms. So you might need your account or your profile or your user ID or whatever updated to member level. Doesn't cost anything, it's completely free, but just
or just keep
mention
chatting
it.
until you get there. It's not.
Yeah, if you chat a little bit on there, type some stuff in, I think it's very quickly you get to the next level.
Just so we don't get a lot of spam.
Right, where's my cup of tea? Oh, actually, that's what I was going to ask as well. What do you think I should do with the power supply? At the moment, currently, there's an Antec Earthwatts 550 watt gold in there, which I think is actually probably a suitable power supply for this, because the graphics card is only going to be using at the very, very most about 120 watts, I think, something like that. It's a very, very low power requirement. The processor probably, I don't know, 105, 110. So it's nowhere near its limits. So I think it's going to end up being
Hey, Flame.
quite power efficient, which is always nice. Dutch Jan says, Wright-Patterson Air Force has been a leader in military aviation development over the time of, from the time of airplane inventors Wilbur and Orville Wright. David Aiken says, nice build, shame to let that go. New PC for Kath. I've tried. Kath won't go there at all. And to be honest, Kath would be better off with probably a Mac. And that is possibly...
What, stand on a bus stop and flash?
Yeah. Tits! She didn't say that. I'm just... I'm getting a vision now and she's going to hurt me if I say it. But I really want to and I don't think I should. But no, I'm not going to go there. All I'll say is there used to be a... when we worked at Casualty, there was a mannequin doll. She's already gone. That's it. I'm in trouble. I'm going now. Oh. Not that that's anything to you, but I just imagined that that's...
With her hands on backwards and everything when you built her. And we took her back to the 70s by cutting up that teddy bear.
Riley's putting a £10 super chat and says, say it. Well, it was when we were at Casualty, there's an actress, relatively famous actress here in the UK called Anita Dobson. She used to be known as Angie, Dirty Den's wife on the EastEnders programme back in the 80s. I don't think it was the early 90s, I think it's late 80s. Maybe the 90s. No, I don't think it was 90s, was it? But like at the time, the EastEnders Christmas special where Den divorced Angie was like the highest watched TV programme in British history or something stupid. It was bizarre. It was just one of those things. Like,
I didn't watch it.
Most people knew about it. Anyway, she was in Casualty, and she's obviously considerably older now. But they made up this mannequin because she was supposed to be in an accident, and we got hold of the mannequin before the production team and the makeup department. And basically, it had these very unusual tits. That's all I can say. And they were like, we just looked at it as like, wow. And I think even Anita Dobson, when she came to see the doll eventually, wasn't particularly impressed and got the hump. So it was one of those things, and it was, yeah, it was just a funny thing. I've probably still got a picture on my phone.
And they got really pissy because we cut that teddy bear up and put a furry triangle on her.
Yeah, oh, we did. Yeah,
She would have that from the...
we had, there was a teddy bear, like a proper teddy bear, furry teddy bear, which we basically cut up and cut out a small triangle to give her a lady garden, let's say, and stuck it on there and just left it.
And they weren't impressed.
And they didn't find that funny either. Got no sense of humour, the BBC.
And you put her hands on the wrong arms, so her thumbs are on the outside.
Oh yes, so she was born in 1949, so she's 74. So back then, this was probably about 7 years ago, maybe more. So yeah, she'd have been in her kind of mid-60s. Oh dear. Lucky Man says, so Kath has unusual tits. No, it's just that whenever I think of a flasher or anything like that, I just get this vision of this doll. I'm going to have to find it now.
It's on Facebook.
It is on my Facebook profile.
We found her in that room.
I'll find it and I'll see. We'll do a camera test and see if it can actually find it. I don't even know where it is.
But it was like proper,
Photos. Here we go.
like human weight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a real.
So it used to take two of us to cart her about.
Yeah, we should
like
drag her dead weight around the studio. I have to find the picture now. Oh, there it is. I knew I had it on there. So obviously, for this stream is not intended for minors. So if you're a younger person, you possibly don't want to look away. This technically isn't a nude person, but it's a mannequin which doesn't have clothing on, and it is well. It's a medical dummy. So yeah. Anyway.
Maybe you should just put it on the Discord.
I'll just put it on here. What the hell? Well, it appears the autofocus works. So that is where... That's actually... I can't see from there. Is that with the fur on it? No.
No, that
was pre-fur. So...
But she's got her hands on...
Now the thing is,
right now, hasn't she?
a lot of people, when I tell my stories and stuff like that, I can see it in their eyes, especially when I do it face to face. I'm talking to people and telling them stuff, and you can see them, they're thinking, yeah, like that any of that happened. And there is the photographic proof. A lot of the stuff that I say has actually happened. Now, there is obviously a period in my life where I smoked a lot of weed, and some of those things may or may not have happened. I have no idea, but in my mind they seem real, so I talk about them as if they were. Was that Jacob Rees-Mogg? It could have been. It could have been.
I think they had a wig for her, didn't they? To change her into...
Creepy.
Needed RGB. Oh.
So that was, yeah. Grandma, is that you? Sent a letter. Oh dear. At one point, I did want to get. We had these like loads of little sub departments in our props department, and there's like a little brassware section where little trinkets were, and there was 2 little brass bells, and I so wanted to stick those on and just play them, but I thought that I would take it a bit too far. If I'd taken it too far, Again. Right, check for some more updates so I can turn this off. Anybody want to buy a PC? Actually, I should work out. Right, let's do a... Where's my calculator? Have you got a calculator over there?
Yeah. Do you want a calculator?
Can I have a working calculator, please?
Well, I'm going to give you a broken one, am I?
Needed RGB, says Nick Barnes. I thought the stream froze then. It's just me. Oh, look how that's weird. The fisheye effect at the bottom of the thing.
Oh, my hand looks huge.
It's like. Anyway, Windows has a calculator. I know. I struggle with that as well. How'd you turn this on? Oh, the on button.
Oh.
Oh, it's daylight power, so you have to turn the light on.
Can you build a Hackintosh for Kath? I don't want one. I don't like Apple.
Kath don't want a computer full stop.
I don't want a phone.
Right, let's think about what this has costed then. So the fans and the cooler, probably need Bob to give us some idea of that.
Why the fisheye effect?
The fisheye effect, unfortunately, with camera lenses, because in order to make a lens wide enough, you have to have some kind of curvature to it. Now you can get really, really expensive lenses which have got additional lenses behind them, which, what do they call it? There's a name for it. Something linear. Rectilinear? Or is that something you stick in your ass? I don't know. No, that's rectal. It's not that. I think it's rectilinear. But I don't think you can get rectilinear lenses which are perfectly flat. All lenses do it, even, well, you get to a certain point, I think it's about 35 millimeters, and anything past 35 millimeters is basically flat. But as you get into like a much wider field, it just becomes a
curvature in.
Yeah, if you had if it was a 7mm lens, it would be completely fisheye, like what you see on like 3D cameras and stuff where you can see all around 360. Right, Jonsbo cooler was 30 quid. The fans 40. So motherboard was 100.
Are you reading what Ugly Bob's writing?
I am, yeah.
That's alright. I thought you were getting it.
Processor was 130. The graphics card was 180. PSU was 60.
Lenticular,
thank you. And the what else have I got? Oh, the RAM. Can't remember what I paid for the RAM.
Kira?
Say 30. 570. Oh, case. Case is, I think this is it 109 with the screen? I think it's 109.
SSD.
Oh, yep. M.2 drive, so that's another 30.
Thanks, Jay Gordon.
Thanks, Jay Gordon. So we're around about just over 700 quid. So I wasn't too far off what I thought at the beginning of the stream, actually.
Adapter.
The adapter. They're like a couple of quid, but you can't really put that in there. You should do, really, but I'm kind of rounding up a little bit on some of the things anyway. And clearly, obviously, this hasn't cost me that, because a lot of the stuff I've, like, Bob's donated stuff. And the frame, I should put the contact frame in there. I think that was 10 quid as well, or thereabouts. So yeah, 720. So I don't know. There's no way on God's green earth I'm going to be able to get 700 odd quid for that PC. Realistically.
It is nearly Christmas.
So if I took the case out of the equation, that's like 110 quid roughly, so 600. I think 600 is pretty fair.
See if you get any.
Yeah.
And you want
the case itself doesn't owe me anything, but I don't want to give stuff away, because obviously when I get rid of this, I've then got to go and buy some other stuff to build in, which is obviously how the world works. But I wanted to have a rough idea of what it is. So 7. I think because it's got that front panel LCD screen that you can either have on the desk or whatever, might be one of those things where people will be like, oh, so it's an expensive case, and then be prepared to put more for it. But Yeah, 650 or near offer. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I was going to run a quick Cinebench. I want to see what the Cinebench score is like. Have I even got Cinebench on here? Yeah, I've got the old one, I think. The old one, R23. It's not exactly old, is it? So let's do a quick multi-core. See what that comes in. I'm expecting what? Hopefully 10,000. I'm not sure if it'll get quite there. Ryzen 5 3600 should score about 9,000, so it should be at least 10. If it doesn't get 10, I'll be quite upset. If it gets about 11, I'll be pretty happy. A Ryzen 5 7700 gets around about 16, I think. The 7600 non-X gets about 14 to 15.
You haven't written boobies on this calculator?
I have not, sadly. 31808. There we go. Is that focused? Yep.
And you can put boobless.
Oh yeah. 5578008.
What else can we write? There's lots, isn't there?
It's amazing how I just remember the numbers like as if it was back at school. Or I'd done it yesterday. Score wise, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this to focus, but we'll have a go. We'll have a go, John. Oh, what's that caught on? Hang on. I've got no chance.
AX7000.
Can you see it? Well, it scored 11,850. So that's pretty decent, I think. Nearly heading towards 12,000 points on Cinebench. That works for me. ARGB says, ooh, that's respectable. I'm not too sure what it's supposed to say. B, rather. Lucky Man says 11,300. Oh, is that what it's meant to get? What did it get? 11, oh, so about 500 over.
RTX 7000 question mark, what does that mean? Kill.
RTX 7000. Yeah. I don't know what that means. RTX 7000. Is it out yet? Have you got one? Or do you want to know about one?
Like a single core score on a Lattice PC.
Yeah. Ugh. God, these shoes. I've got my shoes on all day. Don't know why. Right, let's actually, I think I'm done with that. As my old friend Daryl would say, I'm done with you now. I say friend. Acquaintance. Daryl, if you're watching, my apologies. Sorry, not sorry. Right, let's pack that away and then we'll take a look at some of your questions. Someone have a question for me, please? Right, the screen may go blank temporarily because I'm unplugging this. I really must get an electrician in to have a look at that. Although they probably just say what you know anyway and say, yeah, all needs rewiring, mate. It's all fucked. Don't think they're allowed to say that, but they'll do the old thing, won't they? They'll look at it, they'll say, oh, I'll do a quote, and then never hear from them again.
Or they'll do the quote and then never turn up.
Yeah. Or
Why
do
they go to all that trouble and then just not bother?
Builders are a funny lot. I don't really understand them. Like, we had someone come around to look at a PC, and was it a PC or was it? I think it might have been a microphone.
No, it was PC, and then they came.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. They bought a PC of us, and while they were here, we were chatting to them and saying, "Oh yeah, really looking for someone to do some work in our attic because we want some electrics put in and all that to possibly start looking at a loft conversion." And chatting about it and going through it and saying, yeah, he wasn't actually an electrician. He's like, yeah, the bloke I work for, we could do that for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, great. can't wait. Let's get started. Let's do it. And basically, radio silence ever since. I think when he came around for the microphone, oh yeah, because I didn't mention it, did I? At the time, I think it was really weird. It's like just like if you want the money, just say the word.
When we wanted the fence repaired, and they came and gave us quotes.
Oh yeah.
New washing post put in and everything.
Yeah.
And they gave the quote and all that, and then just didn't turn up on the day, and never heard from them again.
Yeah, it's a very strange world we live in, unfortunately. Full of very strange people. Which, if you ever watch any of the presidential debates, you'll know. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Right, CPU.
CPU.
0 Max 75C. I don't know. That's how it's written, I don't know.
Dutch Jan. CPU. Sorry, Dutch Jan, I'm not sure what that's in relation to. I'm not too sure. Ah, right. Single cores are out. That hurt. I just whipped myself with HDMI leads. Could have gone without doing that, really. This is actually a lovely PC, and I think that even though I'm like obviously going to be the one selling it, I think anyone who actually ends up owning this is going to be very, very happy, because it is really cool, really quiet, and I would say as well, actually really nice looking. I know a case is one of those subjective things, isn't it? The whole PC saga is all about everybody's own individual tastes and all that, but I think it looked great. And again, massive shout out to all those that have helped contribute towards it and its being. Actually, I should include that in that list. Our good friends over at Lexar, who provided the RAM and the SSD or M.2 drive, and also Rick H with the LGA 1700 bracket,
Dutch Jam added a bit more,
and also Ugly Bob with the Jonsbo Magic Fan, and also the Jonsbo cooler. Look at that autofocus, it's like a bloody dream. Unbelievable. All those years I've suffered Panasonic's absolutely dog SHYT autofocus, and finally they got their act together. Praise baby Jeebus.
SHYT.
SHYT, shite. Worked in my head. Just thinking it's like one of those private number plates where you see the letters and it makes no sense whatsoever, but then the person who's got it is like paid lots of money and they think it looks flicking great. Here mate, look at my private plate, it says the word piss flaps. Oh dear, it doesn't. I don't think you're allowed that one, and it's too many letters. Oh, that's gonna fall off of there. Hey Flame, how you doing? Good to see you. You having a good time?
Sleeping.
If you are, you're the only one.
Sleeping, aren't you?
Oh, that fits in there like an absolute glove. Unfortunately, it's one of Jeremy Beadle's gloves. Never mind. That took you a while.
Oh, I love his controller.
Sorry for anyone out there who doesn't understand that joke, and quite rightly, you shouldn't. But Jeremy Beadle was a UK TV presenter, and he had one hand which was much bigger than the other. It's kind of bizarre. but kind of funny. Or,
Big hand and a little hand
yeah.
on his watch.
It was like that.
Can't see the other one, can we?
It was like that. Oh,
Jeremy Beadle's watch got a big hand and a little hand.
Oh, we shouldn't be cruel, really. For the grace of God, go us.
Why don't you benchmark after a build?
Why don't I benchmark after a build? I generally do, but not to any great extremes. Most of the parts that I've got, I've kind of either slightly tested anyway, or I've had around, so I kind of know they're working. I do run some very basic benchmarks just to see what it runs like, but to be honest with you, I hate benchmarking. Benchmarking is possibly one of the most boring things that I ever do, because it's just like, sat there for 20 minutes or however long it is, just waiting for something to do its thing. And it is very frustrating, because especially when there's like things I need to be doing that I can't because I'm benchmarking. Unplug that? Yes. Seems I did anyway. So yeah, I will obviously, before the PC goes out, I will do a proper benchmarking run, do some Cinebench stuff. I might even do some tuning on it as well. To be honest, there isn't a great deal I can do on that, and it is really wasted on that motherboard. It should have really had a K-class CPU in there, but kind of is what it is. You can't have all, can you? You kind of go with the flow. Use what you have. I don't think it really necessitated a K-class processor. I think overclocking these days, although it's nice to do if you can, I think it's been so reduced now to what you can actually do. Most processors have got the absolute snot clocked out of them straight out of the factory. So there isn't really a great deal more you can do with them.
Lucky man.
As much as you'd like to. Lucky man, so lucky. He should be so lucky, 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 lucky. Sorry, I have lost the actual plot.
We wonder if our neighbours can hear us.
We do. I do have to say to Kath quite often, Kath, make sure the windows are closed. So we'll have the men in white coats coming around for us.
We're both as bad as each other, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
There you go, lucky man stuff.
Lucky, can't even see it. Oh yeah, announcing Microsoft Copilot, your everyday AI companion. What the F? Yes.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday's video has detailed instructions on how to remove the offending article. God, it sounds like your mum then. Oh, scheisse, that doesn't fit. It does. No, I don't. Close enough. Whew, and relax.
Workout for the day.
That is my workout done. I've got to limber up now. Should have done that ages ago. Dutch Jan, overclocking is dead. Unfortunately, yes, I think it is. I think the fun or the enjoyment of overclocking is severely limited now, because there's only so much you can do to push a processor, modern processor. As I said, most of them are kind of at the point where you actually get better performance by undervolting them, or trying to deliberately reduce their performance, or their kind of out of the box performance. So undervolting works really well. The PC behind me, that's the Ryzen 5 7600X. That is now got a TDP limit on it of, I think, is it 105? Either 105 or 95C. Yeah, TDP of 105, I think, is what I've limited it to. So it doesn't boost too high. But even still, it's got a 360mm rad, and it still spikes up and down temperatures whenever it feels like it. And the 13th gen Intel, my other PC, exactly the same thing. It's an absolute nose. Modern processors are horrible. And actually, I'd go as far as, I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Modern computing is just a horrible thing to do. Everything's super expensive, very unstable, very unreliable, and I don't know, it seems to have taken the fun out of it. And especially like with graphics cards, you can't really overclock them. And even if you do overclock them, what you're going to get out of it, maybe 5–10%, the cost of numerous amounts of watts and all that additional heat. for like 5 or 10 frames per second. It's kind of pointless and a little bit soul destroying. Every now and then you get the odd GPU which is good for a little bit more, but it's more of a rarity these days than it used to be the norm. Like pretty much all graphics cards you could push pretty high, just chuck a load of voltage at it, increase the memory frequencies, and you're good to go. But it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Looking at the poll there, so just finalising that. So the question was at the beginning, if you were buying a £500 to £700 PC, would you prefer an AMD RX 6600 8GB, which I've actually put 8GB. I've got a weird thing with my keyboard where it keeps on double typing in pretty much all the letters. I can't work out whether it's a hardware fault or not. I'd need to plug it into my other PC and use it on there for a bit, or try another keyboard, see what happens. If it's the computer, that's going to be annoying because I don't want to do a fresh install. Anyway, so RX 6600 8GB, Intel Arc A770 8GB, the NVIDIA RTX 3060. I left that a little bit open, so it could be an 8GB, could be a 12GB, and something else. So currently it stands at 31% for the AMD RX 6600 8GB. The Intel Arc A770 is dipped down into single figures. Only 9% of people would want a PC with an Intel Arc A770. The NVIDIA RTX 3060 has won actually quite convincingly, and in fact actually scoring more than AMD and Intel combined, which sounds like a very common running theme, and 17% left over with something else, which arguably I think most people would probably want something else because the competition in the market is pretty stagnant at the moment. Rick H says, even on a K-class CPU, you won't clock that much these days unless you know what you're doing. Yeah, I actually find it difficult to get the default performance out of a processor straight out of the box these days because of things like cooling or the motherboard just throwing too much voltage at it, all that kind of stuff. And it's very unusual to find a motherboard these days that performs really well straight out of the box and actually scores higher scores than it should do if you've got really good cooling or decent cooling. It's not great at all. The Equalizer says, yeah, I've got the 7800X 3D, spikes are crazy on it. Yeah, and the thing is, we're so used to dealing with those spikes, or not dealing with those spikes, because you generally have these gentle curves for your CPU fans and stuff.
Hello, George.
Whereas now it's just like, they seem to be ramping up all the time, and it's horrendous. Nick Barnes says, I think Tech Yes City explained the CPU chiplets are laid on top of each other, so they get stupid hot. It is, and it's a weird thing, because you could almost kind of ignore the temperatures if it wasn't for the fact that the motherboards have the built-in protection that they throttle at certain predefined thermal limits. So when a processor is designed to get to 95 degrees, but that is also the kind of oh shit point, the margin of error there is very narrow, almost non-existent. So it's designed to be right on the ragged edge, right up until the point of basically the motherboard either thermally throttling or shutting the system down, which is nuts. It shouldn't be like it. David Endo says, so wrong, Mike, we actually pay way less now than back in the 1990s. Yeah, in the before the boom era, yeah. You have a good stream?
Yeah, it was alright.
Good.
What did you say?
Sup, Ugly Bob?
Ugly Bob is in the chat.
He said, hey, George.
Dutch Jan says, overclocking my FX was fun.
You replied, hey, man.
Those
George.
were these. Aletta says, on YouTube, my emojis are all doubled. Yeah, I've had that on... yeah, I think that was in YouTube, where if you do a reply and you use the emojis, they would do double. And I think it was if I did the Microsoft ones. Let me try that now, actually. What was it? Windows and dot. Oh, hang on. No. Control Alt? No. Alt dot. I'm sure it's the full stop key. Oh, hang on. No, there we go. So, oh yeah. Yeah, because you click on it and then you press enter to enter it and it's still on it. So you get double laughy faces. This is me being stupid. Rick says, I remember the Pentium G3258. You could clock it all the way up to 4 gigahertz. Yeah, there were some really cool processors which you could overclock, and it was like, it was a bit of fun. Whereas now it's just nuts. Alexa says, my Cinebench R26 single core score.
23.
Cinebench R23 single core score was 15,276. Is that even possible? That's nuts. That's more than most multi-cores get.
She's never done it before. And Ugly Bob was saying about it. And now she got curious.
Right. Right, what time is it? Bloody hell, didn't realise the time. Right, I think that is going to pretty much finalise the chat. Unless there's any last minute questions that anybody wants to ask, which I will quickly try and address. Oh, that's why I couldn't see everything, because I had top chat listed, not all chat. Silly arse. Excellent, excellent. Right, I think that is going to be pretty much it. So, once again, thank you all for joining us on this expedition through me fumbling camera settings. I think it's pretty much... Oh, that looks bloody awful. I have to zoom that in a bit. There, that'll do. What's that in? 22 mil? That'll do. Oh yeah, that's back to how we used to be. So, Cav's looking puzzled.
I thought you had more cabinets showing last time, but maybe...
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I think that's about that. Look, yeah, it's weird that that lens looks the same as the previous one at 20 mil, but that's 22 mil. But it's the same camera body and the same manufacturer of lens, so it should be the same. Anyway, I lose it. So thank you all so much for joining us on our stream. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please smash that like button, and obviously if you haven't subscribed, why not? You should have done by now. But make sure you click on the subscribe button and the chime icon if you're notified of future video releases, possibly. Although recently we've had a few issues with a couple of videos we've gone out and even our Discord never got notified. But then the next day, Discord had that weird stuff with the Cloudflare, your account is banned type stuff. So yeah, there's been some weird stuff going on. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching the videos and helping us out, and your contributions, etc. have been fantastic. And for those of you that don't make any contributions other than watching the videos and taking part in live streams, etc., we thank you all as well. Everything you do all helps us towards our goal, and that is basically trying to keep this channel going for as long as we possibly can. And yeah, hopefully giving you some entertainment along the way, because that's what it's all about. It's not all just tech. What is tech without entertainment? You need to have a little bit of entertainment and some saggy titties on a
medical dummy.
A medical dummy, I guess, yeah. I wouldn't want to be medicating it, but... Ooh.
Didn't it have swappables?
I think it was, yeah, it did have a swappable, well, it basically had a mangina. So you could, yeah, switch all kind of things down there. Anyway, that's a weird way to end a stream. So thanks for all of you for watching. Hopefully you've had some entertainment on your Saturday evening. You never know, you might have done. So I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To.
Don't have nightmares.
And hopefully we'll see you in the very next video, as long as you don't have nightmares about some creepy old medical doll. Feel free to freeze frame it and set it as your desktop wallpaper. Kudos to anyone who does. It is Halloween. It is actually Halloween, yeah. I think I did post it on Halloween.
It did, it said Happy Halloween underneath.
Absolutely nuts. Right, thank you all for watching. Much appreciated, and we'll catch you in the next video on Monday, or we'll see you again in the stream next Saturday. Thanks again, everyone who's helped contribute. Massively appreciated, and yeah, that's it. I will see you later. Truck fans, fix the blooper. Awesome stuff. So, end stream. Yes, I do wish to say that. So, bye!